based.
Very based, yeah. And we've got. Can you identify the 4 people in the middle of the shot?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Digov Darental is definitely the one immediately to Savinkov's left. Or I guess his right.
I was asking the community, but yes.
Darental and Savinkov are kind of like looking at them, like looking at each other, like kind of fruity, to be honest.
Yeah, I was looking at that. I'm like,
I mean, that's the great debate. Are you shipping him with Darental or with Klepikov?
Of course, I'm shipping Savinkov and Darental.
Can
I
the
don't know
community
what.
hear this conversation?
It's Savinkov and Darental, because that was OTL.
Yeah.
Well, to be precise, it was Savinkov, Darental, and Darental's wife.
It's about the bros versus the hoes, okay?
Look, sometimes a family is a man and his wife and some third guy who's a terrorist.
Yeah, so true.
I mean, it is appropriate that IRL, everything went down in a hotel room in terms of his arrest.
Oh, true.
Yeah. So, if you want to know who the people are, then Savinkov's obviously in the middle, the bald man. You've got Dikov Darentel in the glasses, Maximilian Felenko next to him, and then Carlos Goppers next to him with the beard.
Yeah, it looks better on larger screen.
Yeah.
Katie is only allowed to have a small screen because Katie is very small.
True.
What?
This is correct.
So
Come on.
let us. So we got the first big reveal.
Katie is very small.
Plus 2 weeks.
That was public knowledge.
Fair enough.
Can anyone see the big reveal?
yeah.
About the tie. His tie is
Here
brown.
it is.
Twitch chat haven't quite got there yet.
Yeah, wait for it.
Haven't quite got there yet. They're close. They're close, but they haven't.
Someone's starting to notice things.
Yeah.
Ooh, I caught
The civilian Savinkov portrait, yes. Some, but that's not it.
There we go. Green Nat Pop.
I don't know what you're talking about. It looks brown to me.
Surprise.
Clear, guys, it's not a sub ideology. It's just new color.
It's green now.
Green now.
I see brown.
They fly.
I really don't see what you're all talking about.
Oh, by the way, okay, so everyone, shut up. I need some answers on this. Should I do game rules because I don't want France to die instantly? Like, is that a normal desire? I feel like I should do that.
Do something interesting.
I would. Why don't you game rule Belgium to be? I don't wait. Because sometimes when I want to give someone a challenge, I can just game rule them to be Cindy.
I would recommend game ruling Ukraine to always be with the Reichspakt, so that way you don't get screwed over with Austria joining the war right away.
Yeah, but I added something for that, so they shouldn't do it anyway.
Okay.
I actually could.
Theory is bad, therefore it must be removed.
Yes. Do not agree upon Ukraine is actually really bad for balance.
I will note that Belgian Republic is like a 35% war support swing versus the monarchy.
Yeah, the monarch Albert has an insane leader trait, which is why I
and not having him gives him like it's like negative 20-30% war support.
Oh, he also gives plus 15%.
So.
Yeah, so it's like a 45% swing.
He gives plus 15% defense and attack on core territory as well. I just forgot to remember that.
He's insane.
It's a little ridiculous.
He might have the best trait in the game. Like, honestly.
For like
okay, but like, where's the issue? It's just a fight, so.
I mean, it's completely valid. No notes. Like, keep it in any rework, obviously, but just noting.
My tester brain analyzing Katie's choices in MIOs.
I don't care about
I still don't have the
I don't
DLC.
like MIOs.
Also, are we good to start answering Twitch chat questions? Because I see a couple of things coming through.
Yeah, feel free to.
Okay. Kazakhstan, not completely gone. It has content now. Someone already answered that, but yeah, fear not.
Yeah. This game will hope the plan, I believe, is to go up to World War II or through. Is it through, Katie?
I am not gonna go after the Weltkrieg.
Okay.
Because that would be... I don't want to spoil, like, everything, you know? But there's plenty of post-war content, so look forward to it.
We've got 300 people on the stream, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Can you kind of like show off like the size of the focus tree?
Sure.
Oh.
Because in
So there's
Okay, that's
democracy
appreciated
here.
girth.
All the way.
I haven't actually played Russia yet, so I don't even. Oh, jeez.
Oh,
The
it's crazy.
It's not the size that matters, but what you do with it. So you know.
Hey.
You know
Oh, come on!
Yeah,
Who
the,
said that?
Katie, the stream doesn't seem to be quite centered on, like the window doesn't seem to be quite centered on whatever you're streaming with.
Yeah, there's like a centimeter cut off at the top and the bottom.
Also, turn off
Just
yeah.
a little bit.
Let me try and fix
Yeah,
that.
take your time. No rush or anything like that. We're
Yeah,
in
it's
game.
well, it's problematic because it's problematic because I've been trying to get it to work this entire time, and it's very difficult.
I think as long as everyone's able to see the stats at the top of the screen,
Yeah, how
That's
is
fine.
that? Is that okay?
And
we can't really see the generals, but I think
Can't see the generals.
that will be fine.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's more cut off at the bottom, but we can see the top.
what Boris Savinkov to use on?
Oh no! Oh
Also, turn
god!
off debug, it'll speed up the game.
And so it starts. All right.
I think if you asked Boris, he would think it's about transitioning into becoming like an Ubermensch terrorist or something. He would get enthusiastic.
Hang on, we got a new.
Rip turn off.
Someone guessed me by my British accent. Amazing.
So yes, chat that was
God, I wonder how much of this text is still what I would have written.
Yeah.
Apologies.
Kerensky is no longer the starting head of state now. He is vibing in New York City.
Oh wow.
He has
see,
to, like,
Head of state currently either. We removed him ages ago.
Yeah, right
Yeah,
here.
We wrote it like literally a year
Here it
ago.
is. Yeah, he writes a little thing about how he thinks Savinkov's cringe. There you go.
Oh.
Also, I'm pretty sure this has been teased. I'm pretty
It
sure
has
that event
been,
was
yeah.
teased.
Yes,
Katie,
a lot of this
Katie.
is shot
Yeah,
up in the,
sorry.
the DD ages
Katie,
ago.
can you
Yeah.
turn off debug mode? Your game will run better.
Done.
Just the console debug, yeah. Well, you
So
probably
now
know that. Why am I telling you this?
Why is there something duplicated at the side of your screen?
What?
Why don't we?
On the
Do
left
we
hand
want to like go
end
over
of your
the?
screen.
Oh, sure. Like, do we want to like explain some of the mechanics, like the German control stuff or anything else like that?
We
before like,
could.
get going? That's just sure.
Oh, I actually didn't notice these icons were like changed really recently. That's cool.
Oh, they were.
Yeah. So basically you have this German economic influence spirit, which unfortunately gives a bunch of your factories away to Germany, which is not cool, but, once you take, one of the first 4 pole focuses, you can start taking decisions here, and you can lower
And the Vilnius Accord.
Yeah. The cringe accord. Alright, I'm gonna go straight down to Volsquad here. Okay, I'll take Sogden
No,
popularity.
that's the meta.
I think so too. That's how,
Wow, you just let the liberals rally?
yeah? I don't like my
So
knife.
do we want to kind of?
Yeah, your stability is already isn't great.
So do we
It's
want to kind of
fine.
describe, or explain the like Savinkov's movement, that kind of thing, for people who aren't 100% aware?
Someone?
Yeah,
Yeah, feel free
so
to.
this is actually
He really likes terrorism.
Yeah, that's true.
Show his leader description. It's
we can.
This goes hard.
We can do that in a sec. That's
Unfortunate
pretty straightforward.
issue is we can't see the full event.
Yeah,
So
I was going
this
to
is
cut this
something
event.
that.
oh right, it's too large.
Yeah, I'll cut the size of it later, don't worry. But only death to traitors. I was gonna kill him anyway.
What resolution are you on, Katie?
It'll be a surprise for the community. They'll see the choices.
Yeah.
Rip Bozo.
Okay, so yeah, this was something that we wanted to address before the stream like super gets going, because just that this is me addressing the folks that are here for the Twitch stream. There is a persistent myth, unfortunately, that's like circled around like pop history circles, especially on YouTube recently. That Savinkov was a misunderstood, wholesome Chungus, like liberal Democrat who like has actually been blackwashed and wasn't evil at all. It's just not true. I don't know how else to put that. The couple researchers that we have on the team have done a really good job, like honestly trying to dissect him as a historical, like as a person, as a human, and then extrapolate how his ideas would have been implemented and like how his own views would have changed over time, etc. Basically, one, he only ever utilized democratic rhetoric specifically as anti-Bolshevik rhetoric. He never ever spoke of being pro-democracy in any other context. Second, his understanding of democracy goes right back to like this paternalistic Narodnik view that it views enlightened elites as leading the peasants, not as any true like bottom-up quote-unquote democracy. He has a cult of the individual. He was completely self-obsessed. He was a hedonist. He's obsessed with the cult of the hero. He believes that great men should lead. When he says out loud, I think Tsarism and Bolshevism are bad, he isn't objecting to them because he wants a wholesome democracy, but because he wants some sort of like quote-unquote authentic Russia. Last but not least, he was a murdering terrorist psychopath. I shouldn't have to go any further. So that's about it. And this is me. This is art. I apologize. Yes.
Can I not cut you
Matoro,
off here?
The actual. No, you're good. It's fine. Matoro, the actual researcher, can answer any more questions about Russia lore.
Yeah, I would like to ask the chat. What army chief should I go for? Should I go for Wrangel or should I go for Denikin? What do y'all think? And someone asked, are the path guides done yet? Yes, they are.
Not to influence your decision.
Okay, that's chat full of Wrangel.
I was curious what is considered like more canon for a true.
Oh no! Now Dick's out for Denikin. Look at that, the comeback.
Oh. I like Denikin, to be honest.
No, we're doing Wrangel. Honor to the old Nat Pop leader.
Also show the SSRS party description, because I think it sums up some stuff. The party description.
Yeah, this one.
Oh yeah.
Well, for Savinkov.
For the SCRS.
Oh yeah. I love how this says nothing.
There it is.
No ideology, just peasant neurotism and vibes.
Vibes, yeah.
Matoro, do you want to like explain like some of the ideas behind? I mean, I'm just not sure if you want to like, especially for a lot of the chat who like don't have a lot of the Laro about like what Narodism is, etc.
I mean, if I start with that, we'll start with it. But like, I guess like Savinkov's movement, the Svobodniks are like they have this sort of democratic ideology. There's actually event later about it, but like they kind of like claim to represent freedom because their opposition is like other option is like communism. So there's this whole like double talk about how it's people's movement which is gonna like free Russia from all of the foreign shackles and like from both German and socialist shackles that are the actual thing that are restricting Russian freedom. So it's very much like their populism is like that sort of populism, I would say, and that's where actually this is the event that I mentioned. This is like the manifesto. I think it's published in like 20s, so it's like very like foundational text for them. and I think this sums up pretty well how their movement should be understood.
It was a pretty good event.
Matoro,
Explaining it.
some people were wondering what stage the dictatorship has gotten with Savinkov yet. Is he in complete control? Is he trying to get control, or what is the status in 1936?
In the beginning of the game, he has absolute control over executive branch, and Russian executive branch is quite powerful. So like he has filled government and like police force and everything like that with loyalists, and is harassing the opposition. But there's like main problem for him is there's two problems. First, he doesn't have like full legislative control because like the opposition has measured in the state council, that is the upper house, and he doesn't control the Supreme Court. And there's the military. Like Kornilov is like kind of very jealous of his position and doesn't want to like share power with Savinkov. So for the past 2 years, Savinkov has been consolidating power, but it's been like constant kind of struggle versus Kornilov and the army, which is like doesn't necessarily like disagree with Savinkov's goals, but they just fear for their own independence and own power, because like Kornilov is used to being like the guy who actually runs Russia. Like Russia has been democratic republic, but like if Kornilov said something, government were like doing as he tells them to do. So he doesn't want to lose that. And the whole like starting scenario where both Chernobyl is assassinated and Kornilov's basically coup attempt fails is what leads Savinkov to get like control of the courts and State Duma, that is the lower house. So now he has full power over like all state institutions. But the army continues to be like a threat in the sense that it's very independent, and the higher officers kind of like don't really view Savinkov very highly. So there's constant like tension from that direction until he actually wins the Second World War, and kind of proves his ability to actually like run Russia. So that's like there's the military anger and popular anger. If you scroll there, they were already showcased in the first progress reports, but they're basically like the core mechanic for path switches and like two variables that Savinkov has to control. There's also balance of power within the party itself.
Can you tell us about the different wings of the party?
Can you show the balance of power?
Katie, can you go to the balance?
I am on there. Do you see it?
Okay.
The stream is just severely delayed.
It doesn't show much, but like there's basically three main factions. There's there's old Svobodniks, who are basically the guys who followed Savinkov from the very start. There's the inner circle who fought with him in the civil war, and some are even like older friends from the combat organization days. And they're basically like mostly personally loyal to Savinkov without much focus on policy. They also don't like be the most militarist group, but also like kind of political pragmatic. Actually, if you show the advisors, all advisors are part of some faction. There's the moderates or solidarists, who are basically like sort of conservative, kind of they tag along and agree with Sapincom's ends, but they kind of would prefer it to be more by the book and like less terror and more government, basically. They're also most like socially conservative faction, in the sense that Sapincom himself is kind of like a cultural modernist. There's in the focus tree there's actually a choice between like more woke cultural policies or just embracing or tech church and stuff like that. And then there's the ideocrats, I think that's how it's pronounced. So basically Eurasianists under Piotr Savitsky, who are, well, they're like ultra bureaucratic and technocratic faction who kind of view the like they also want to fix the regime by standardizing it and making it more technocratic and less arbitrary. But they also like they go heavy into the Eurasian side of Russian foreign policy and stuff like that. They, of course, they support war with Germany and all that, but their direction would be different. All of these three paths have different post-war focuses with different cosmetic tags that they will get eventually.
I'm so winning.
Yeah.
Alright, I have 3 of us
Yeah,
on projects
somebody
going.
else can.
So yeah, Savinkov is a bold man. He's incredibly bold. He was bold by like the early 20s.
Clearly the most important part of his ideology, bald.
We've kept him having a moustache. Technically, in our time, we shaved it off during the Russian Civil War. Arguably, that might have been, to avoid being detected and whatnot.
This event that shows right now is about Vladimir Richter. Is it pronounced Richter? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it's pronounced Richter.
He's basically the guy who happens to become Chernov's successor. He was like party secretary or something like that. And he is the main right SR leader who goes heavy into like trying to live up to the standards that Chernov left the party with, and he becomes like a very major dissident against Sapinkov regime.
Davey, there's an important question. Can you get Savinkov to shave his mustache?
I don't think.
No. Like if you think about fashion in like men's fashion in 1930s, mustaches are like they're symbol of virility and masculinity. That's why everyone had them, even if they look kind of terrible usually.
So I refuse to create additional alternates of portraits just so you can pick between having a moustache and not having a moustache. Because I hate fun.
Yeah. With Russia, we actually have like
blame him.
we have some portraits with like more mustache and say like had OTL and like different mustaches because the KR Russia would be more pro mustache than Soviet Union was, which kind of was ideologically opposed to facial hair because it was seen as a remnant of the old order. You could show the Central Asian trees, by the way, or just show it when Kazakhs rise up or something. But like, that's a thing.
I think you could slow down a bit, Katie. You're going really fast, and just kind of very slowly go through the whole Russia tree so people can get a look, I'd say.
Sure, I'll try to go slower. Land reform in Central Asia, which I think is a big part of. I think this is a big part of the Kazakh crisis, actually.
Whenever I play, I always just do the thing. Land reform will be better.
Yeah, that's basically
Yeah, so
what
currently the Kazakhs are governed by the Alash Autonomy, which is an autonomous region within Russia. There are a few other autonomous regions. The Cossacks are represented as state modifiers. I think there is one for the Latvians as well.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, and more federalist paths can found a lot more autonomies for actually most minorities.
Yeah, so the Kazakhs are currently autonomous, but they're maybe not gelling well with the Savinkov government, let's say.
Yeah, like there was a land reform in the 20s, but it was kind of a mess. And Savinkov's big promise to the rural people is getting more land, and how he's going to do that is by taking it from, primarily from there isn't much, there's no aristocracy left or some stuff like that. But for example, the Alash autonomy. So the Kazakhs have been kind of minding their own business, but Savinkov plans to abolish the autonomy and settle more Russians to the Kazakh steppe. That's how he's gonna get a lot more land to fulfill his promises. He's also gonna take some land from the Kazakh horses, because he kind of ideologically doesn't agree with Kazakhs, because Kazakhs are they also resist his attempts to control everything, basically.
Maturo.
And this, yeah.
You're talking too much.
Oh, this is
anyway,
okay.
sorry. Maturo was yapping right now. Anyway.
Yeah, I'll let you do the talking, and I'll just answer stuff if needed.
It's alright, guys. I wasn't sure if you'd want to.
I want to.
Can
I want to answer a couple questions. I know that someone said they wanted to look at the socialist tree. Let's see. What was the exact question? So I can show you the socialist tree. It's gonna go away once I consolidate power, so, you have your early stuff where you consolidate your regime, and then if you know the two factions you can pick pick the left SRs, which they're over here, and you have the VST. The VST's tree is much larger, but more of it is going to be blocked off to you, so if you're playing a more left VST regime, you can take Bolshevik line focuses, but you won't be able to take revisionist stuff over here.
This also isn't a full tree. Once you are on the relevant tree, you actually get the post-war focuses too. But this only shows you the starting stuff, and they go away soon. So it's not all focuses. We have quite a bit of focuses that aren't visible here.
Do I want to explain the VST, because there are people I think that are misunderstanding. They're seeing the focus communists and thinking it's a pure Bolshevik path. Do we want to explain that briefly?
Yeah, because we aren't going to get much socialist lore events, because you're purging all of them.
That's true. Yeah.
Basically, the VST, or All Russian Union of Labor, is kind of continuation of the Russian Social Democratic Labor Party. So it's the Russian Marxists who have coped after being basically eradicated after the Civil War, and there's some amount of Menshevik Bolshevik cooperation, like the difference has become quite sort of unimportant because it isn't that relevant anymore. But basically, it's VSD is like they are very much Russian communists, but they have taken a lot of inspiration and elements from success of the Western revolutions, which were like based on more popular front approach. And kind of like I would say VSD is like more radical than Mensheviks, but like less radical than Bolsheviks. But also, it goes from very like far end to the other. So like in the left end you have Zinoviev, and the right end you have like Fyodor Dan.
Great.
Green Hui not pop. I don't give a crap about Spain, and I love political power. Yay, partial mode.
Fair warning to the community: Spain is still pain.
Spain is always pain.
Twitch is buffering.
Yeah, Twitch.
Did the stream die?
No, I don't think it died. It's just
it's frozen for me.
Yeah,
it's frozen at the moment.
Oh, it just got refreshed? No? You can refresh it, and then it'll catch up, and then it'll buffer again.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with my Georgian internet, okay? There's nothing wrong.
Oh, there he is. Yeah, just refresh.
Is it back?
Katie's connection. Sorry.
It's back, yeah.
No other ideologies have had a different symbol. And only the Natpop one. And Natpop one's changed like 3 times in the last little while as well.
We had a
it's finally caught up with your Spain.
Sorry there. Grouchy Gotcho asked, can Russia still ally Bulgaria? That was all done on Bulgaria's end, and it hasn't changed, so it's still there.
Yeah. So same conditions, same everything, really.
Yeah, very choppy.
It was extremely choppy for a second, but it's better.
Okay.
Now. Y'all just keep refreshing. This is a good one. Central planning does not work if workers make demands.
Labour? Isn't that socialist?
Yeah, fucking actual ideocrat speech bubble. So
I like stability though, so I'm gonna be a communist for now.
The solidarists, as we chatted about a little earlier, are more the gigantic quotation marks moderates that are willing to work with Savin. Yeah, gigantic, huge asterisk, the biggest asterisk ever created, that want to work with Savinkov and his regime, including like a yellow union-ish labor movement that the ASCRS has organized.
Is it fair to say that they are, for the most part, still bad people, quote unquote?
Absolutely. Yes. Like, there are people basically think, like, German businessmen and, like, moderates who eventually accommodated them because it was, like, successful, quote unquote. And they were just, like, they were hangers on who, like, formed a...
Like Hal Shacht, I guess, and people like that?
Yeah, basically, yes. And it's a huge thing, and I'm sure Mator about it. But,
best Georgian
So
internet. I'm
one
not
of the
gonna
mechanics.
say what.
They're basically like pragmatic legalists, like anybody who just wants to make the regime.
So one of the mechanics that Katie's been using here, Vokshad, is like Savinkov's primary economic development thing, right?
So good.
Where it mainly draws from your literal manpower pool, and it's kind of
yeah. We don't have that yet. Like, she's not called in Boschcard. That's just like the economic influence thing.
Oh, sorry.
Did that event just fire twice?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No.
Okay.
You
I
probably
think a couple
mistook it
reuse
because
the same.
yeah, it's not like I'm gonna use it like same. It's not like I'm gonna use a different event picture for like every event. That'd be like so toxic.
So, chat, yes, this is Savinkov purging his conservative political allies from the Duma.
Hell yeah!
After he's consolidated the dictatorship.
I really like these events. They really set up the dictatorship.
Oh yeah, so
well.
These are cool ones.
Oh, they're so good.
I love these memoirs.
Also, the memoirs of the terrorist chain is really cool.
Nominor. Yes, he is.
Avi, are you going to make sure every event has an image?
That's the idea, but you know.
Event pictures are painful at times.
We have time to add more, but like most events have pictures already.
Avi, are you going to make unique pictures for every event?
Okay, here we have Voshcott and Memoirs of a Terrorist is a 4-part event. The last one fires in like after we win the war, because it's about like Savinkov's later days.
Fellow travelers. Oh, so this is actually a good example. This is it's just an event that explains the quote unquote SERS. Again, huge asterisk moderates. And the Solidaris in general.
And now I'm imprisoning all my political enemies. How fun.
Yeah. And this is actually, I can put you in jail if...
Rip to the Savinkov Spiridonova shippers.
Yeah. Very sad. If it makes... Wait. Does it actually specify her fate? Oh, at the very bottom, yeah.
No, it just says she's been arrested, but...
She's in jail.
Yeah. I mean, if she died, she couldn't be used for the left SRs.
That is, something y'all might have just seen is Germany, as you increase your economic independence and start, like, nationalizing businesses and slowly pulling away from them, they can retaliate with, like, sanctions and other stuff they can use to mess with you as the war creeps closer.
When is the earliest you can oust Savinkov? I think, generally speaking, the earliest is...
It was like April?
I think it's like May or June. I think it's May or June.
I did May most often. I did June for the... Yeah, never mind. Yeah.
I think June is the earliest for socialists. It may be earlier for, like, Republicans. Or anyone else, really.
Yeah.
I'm gonna destroy the SRs because they're traitors.
1936, one savvy.
No.
1936. He can fall from power extremely quickly if you're not careful, or if you just want him to be a terrible politician.
Yeah, you can you can drive up popular anger really quickly. As you see, I have it at 4, and if it became 8, then I would have Savinkov's regime overthrown. But I'm good at the game, and I will never let that happen. So, now I'm just leading out this Soctum. So,
yeah, the idea is as well. If you want the socialist, do you want to talk about this now, or would you rather?
We can talk about it. I guess we could talk about it, because basically what happens is if you have Savinkov overthrown, the result is based on how high military anger is. So if military anger is also high when you have popular anger high, the socialists may be able to avert a coup. If military anger is low, then the army will restore order in the face of a socialist revolution.
Yes.
Okay.
The general idea being if the military is angry and pissed off at Savinkov's regime, they're just gonna, not that they'll sit by, but lower ranking officers and others such maybe won't follow the orders of the more reactionary high command.
Someone asked,
if anger's too low, though, they'll just step in and restore the constitution.
Someone asked, will the sanctions negatively affect Germany in turn?
Well, I mean,
yeah, sometimes.
No, excuse me, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the sense that they're slowly losing influence over you. Yeah.
Someone asked, wait, Lenin is in this? No, he's not. It's like rhetorical. It's like send Lenin.
Lenin still exists. Like he died some time ago.
True.
So,
his body.
So he's referred here and there.
Yeah. Snake. No, the Second Russian Civil War is not a thing. As in, there is no civil war now. Period. Even in the case of a socialist takeover, it's gone. No tag spawns anymore. The socialists take power through a series of events related to anger, as we just explained. Yeah.
Wait. Oh yeah.
I always run down to get the Gush Strutza to make sure you get rid of that.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Hold on. I'm gonna set a crap ton of volunteers to.
My idea was to actually
Belgrade Pact.
My idea was to play this at the same time as Ireland in multiplayer and just send volunteers to all of the wars that Katie was going to be joining in. But I didn't, as you can see, because the stream is already kind of choppy as it is, so multiplayer would just make it worse.
Yeah.
No. The KR lore is that Lenin was when the crazy lady, completely forgot her name, shot him in real life.
Fanny Kaplan?
Fanny Kaplan, there we go. She shot him, and he died, and then he collapsed in infighting and other stuff.
That's usually what happens when people are shot.
True. Elder Raven, how does the German asset minigame work? The socialists can nationalize assets much faster.
Yeah.
Slightly, yes. They have a more proactive attitude toward than either the liberals or Savinkov do.
Yeah, Fanny means a different thing where I'm from. It's not a person's name.
A fun bit of trivia about Fanny Kaplan is it seems that when she was interrogated by the Soviets, they thought that she might have gotten the gun either from Skoropadsky or from Savinkov. Now, it's unlikely it was actually either of them, but it's just funny that those were the people they speculated.
Skoropadsky is an interesting one, isn't it?
Yeah, that's actually, I didn't even know that. That'd be a crazy fact.
Authorized bombings?
You can't say that!
Yes, SZRS is very pro-Iron Guard.
Yeah, they're like blood brothers. It was a considered to be like brother movements, basically, yeah. Not that Savinkov would view a subordinate out, to be absolutely clear, but yeah, ideologically.
There's a question about revolt for socialists. Socialists have quite a bit of stuff about how they are kind of fighting against half of the country, but it never goes into the phase where they would lose the monopoly of violence. So it's more focused on you have widespread resistance, especially in more rural and distant regions. And there's there's Cossack rebellion, mechanic, and it also buffs the Bolsheviks and Semyon a lot because they would have a lot of anti-socialist people joining their movements. So generally, every socialist Russia has to deal with quite a bit of resistance, usually by shooting them. So even if there's no civil war, it's definitely I wouldn't call it wholesome.
the general idea is that if there's a socialist revolution, militarized by unrest, and it never it never revolves into open fighting. What is that?
I do see someone asking what each of us consider our favorite path from the rework.
The one I made,
I would say Solidarist.
I
Solidarist Havenkov. It's
only played a few of the paths from what I have done. The Eurasianist path is fun, question mark, in the sense that it gets kind of crazy.
To chat, that's the ideocrat lean on the balance of power. No, you're good, yes. I just want to clarify. But yes, it's the opposite side of the Solidarity.
I'm going to say that my favorite of the ones I've done so far are probably the RDP, which are the Social Democrats, and it's a funny one because they're in a position where they're actually quite reactionary as Social Democrats go, and they don't go into coalition with the socialists as willingly as the PSO or the SOC Libs will. So I think it's a really interesting narrative because they're really trying to find a balance between between putting their own needs out in their own party and trying to build a coalition that isn't seen as too left wing.
This is the event.
We got the mustache
the
upgrade.
Event. I declare myself
the new
to be
portrait.
Yeah.
Which probably we may redo it. I don't know.
I love this portrait. It's really
Do we want to show people the end of the old Svobodnik tree, or should we leave that as a surprise?
Yeah, you can show the
It was just something that occurred to me.
Yeah, you could show the post-war focuses. I think it's just don't go into the effects, but I think it's just as like.
All you would need to do is hover to the focus.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, so
I love the
Savinkov's portrait upgrades once he becomes full lodge.
We were talking about how his mustache gets better. This is one of the examples.
I wonder if we're going to get one of the silly Savinkov events during
I think I know which one you're talking about.
No, I mean I'm trying to say it without ruining it.
I don't know what it is.
When the mice away, the cats do play.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
You why
Smartest
did
AI.
How did they lose this? Yo, I have like
yeah.
I have 10 billion.
This is why I don't send volunteers to the Balkans.
It's actually quite shrimple if you just send 9 air wings and mountaineers and tanks.
I'm not a loser like you, so I don't cheat like that. But more power to you.
Oh my goodness! There was a question that stuck out to me that someone was going to ask. Savinkov's path to South Carolina. I know who you are. Don't think you don't know who I am.
Nat Pop is indeed green now, and has been.
Yep.
This has been planned for a very long time to come out with the Russia Rework. Basically, once all those public debates in the Discord and subreddit happened, we decided we'll change it with Russia.
No, we decided that we'd consider changing it with Russia.
Well, I decided
that is
it had
a
to change.
meaningless distinction.
I don't know what y'all are talking about. I still see brown.
Oh yeah.
You should get your eyes checked.
I think you may have color blindness. It is very common. Just get it checked.
I think
Blue Sheep 01 says that they like their poo brown.
Anyway. Kaiserreich reference. 1 second. What was?
A little earlier, someone was asking about seeing all the generals. Do you think you can just scroll through them?
Generals, and if you will notice, many of the generals have new portraits because we have been swapping gradually. So it's not all done yet, but we've been swapping their uniforms over to 1930s Russian uniforms.
It looks awesome.
So by the time that the rework is out, eventually, you won't have any more white volunteer kind of like what Alexei Antonov is wearing there, I guess.
I think the I think the advisor pictures are also quite cromulent, actually, that you should have a look at those.
Cromulent?
This isn't all of the generals. You have like I think this is like maybe 60% of them or something, because like you can remove old boomers and Savinkovic and other stuff and get some more different people in different paths.
Yeah, Markov's a marshal now, by the way.
Yes, he is.
That's another change.
Alright, I'm gonna divert my attack to,
here's a list of the admirals. Kolchak.
So true. So true.
That's the
over
admirals.
here.
He has some cool events.
Katie and Matoro, would you agree that kind of one of the hallmarks in all of the Russia paths that kind of keeps everything kind of similar is that in all of the paths the army is going to play a massive role in politics, and is really kind of it itself is the driving force towards the beginning of this war?
Basically, like in the democratic paths, it's more apparent that any like government that tries to act against the army interests is going to have a bad time, and like the army fully supports the idea of war in Eastern Europe, and like is pushing hard for any government to also do that. And if you don't do that, well, the military may have some different ideas on if your government should be in power. But like, there's also like more reasons, because even the like more like liberal democratic or social democratic governments would still probably consider the war with like if there's a war between Germany and the International, they would still consider like defeat of Germany the preferred outcome, and like there would be a lot of revanches. How do you pronounce it? Is like a French word? I don't know.
Revanchism.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, like, the military plays quite important part in like every path, and if you can defeat it in like some democratic presidents definitely like make good attempt to do that. That is sort of a challenge in itself to like get loyalists in charge. And for example, like Savinkov can get loyalists as the chief of army only by actually like doing well in the World War.
We have someone asking if there is a military junta path, and I don't know if I can answer that.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I should address that. There isn't one really. There are decisions you can take within some paths that seriously strengthen the standing of the army from like, oh yeah, it has an unspoken rule in politics, to like, it basically decides everything. There isn't a strict, a general is the head of state path, but you can functionally say that yes, sort of. It just depends.
Yeah, if you want like actual kind of military dictatorship, there's really like Semyonov and Dietrich's paths in like what was previously Transamur. There you will like like their three final paths are either Semyonov becomes president for life, leading the republic. Semyonov becomes the supreme ataman in a regime modeled after Skorpatsky, or Mikhail Dietrich runs like an ad hoc monarchy with sort of puppet emperor. So those are like actual military dictatorships, and Boldarev can be kind of not a military dictatorship, but like let's say strongman president with military connections. But otherwise, military is like very powerful interest group and like power broker, but not like leading. Oh, and then there's the Wrangel path, of course, which is like if Wrangel, like if you don't crown him, which I consider to be like the less plausible version of the path. If you don't crown him, he still like remains power behind the throne.
I'm basically Grigory Semyonov.
True. No, Othmar Garitos, they were making a comparison. So Semyonov can position himself ideologically and in the sense of his role in the Russian state, similarly to Skoropadsky. That was the point.
Yeah. Basically, he just wants to like a Cossack LARP dictatorship.
Yeah.
And he uses the fact that Hetmanate exists as like sort of vibes that he just copies. It's just like flavor for military dictatorship, basically.
Like if you want a LARP Russian like a hetmanate, then that's it. That's the path you want. That's what.
Hetman is Ukrainian word, so that's hetmanate in Russian.
People are going to make the memes.
Yeah, but it's basically Russian hetmanate. That's a joke. That's initially like made it real. Yeah, it's actually began as a joke, but it was so good joke that I implemented it.
Oh, so true. So here's an example of the Cossacks not necessarily liking Savinkov. You have to deal with them when it comes to land reform issue because they're basically landed aristocrats. Oh man, excuse me.
You are not excused.
Right, I'm going to go in a minute, but if anyone has any questions for me beforehand, then I will.
There's the Codrianu and Savinkov meeting.
Oh yeah, he visits and they kiss and stuff.
They bond over probably like about Jesus and terrorism, probably.
Does this event fire if Romania somehow dies in the Fourth Balkan War?
I don't think it does.
Oh, and we. You all might have seen that in the decisions tab. Since Struts, Russian. Word. The focus about the secret police, and Savinkov's paramilitary wing, that she can get rid of the resistance, which is incredibly painful if you don't take that focus. You're gonna want to do that. Boris Savin Hetmanate path, go away. Love you, Tal. But yeah.
I will say one thing I've loved about this rework is that it actually has you think about like what focus you should do next, rather than just, okay, I'm going to focus on economics, then my military, and then wrap up the political part. Like you actually want to be kind of spreading your feet out, or toes, whatever. Bad wording.
Yes, you have to bounce back and forth. It's not like Germany in that. In Germany, you can kind of focus on one thing at a time, for example, but you do have a lot of things you have to deal with as Russia, and you can't really afford to ignore one thing for more than like 50 or 60 days at a time.
Yeah. Like my kind of design philosophy for Russia, what the experience that I wanted to create is that you are like. You are constantly running from one fire to the other, but you're also like powerful enough to just like smash your problems. But like it never feels like you're running like a well organized machine, like her path or something. It's more of like a controlling chaos.
Right, I will see people. Yeah, later, I guess.
See you.
Been fun hanging around.
Yeah.
Why did I have to say that?
Don't worry about it.
Someone is asking tester experience comparing to Germany to Russia. I stale more with time. Germany, or Russia rather, can definitely get pretty crazy once you win the war. Especially if you manage to get most of Germany, because at that point the world's kind of your oyster, unless like United States or something is opposed to you, and that's kind of a hurdle. But otherwise, it's mainly dealing with the Second Weltkrieg, and then the Third International, depending on your alignment.
Yeah, you still need those warm water ports.
Yeah, so true. At the end of the day, y'all, just for the folks like on Twitch, you're still Russia. Like after you beat Germany, it's like a world conquest because it's HOI4. and you end up snowballing stuff. The big challenge, of course, is getting to that point. Is like beating Germany in the first place. Whether or not you can balance all the issues you have to face. Up to then.
Russia is a big country with many Russians in it.
That's very profound.
Yeah. Do all the socialist paths get along with the third? No, they do not actually. That varies. There is a faction within the left socialist revolutionaries who don't really like French-style syndicalism, to put it mildly. Do we want to... I mean, we can talk about the Maximalists if you don't want.
Sure.
And Sustanov.
Wait, why am I getting feedback here? No.
This is just why I don't send volunteers. Except to America, but like I just don't bother the Balkans. And
clearly, you're just
no
not
way.
A
This is
player.
the best war in the game. Don't you dare say that.
It hurts my head. It's just so annoying.
Clearly,
my optimal vector brain is in agony watching this. But Katie, you're doing great.
Yeah. Oh, you are. Yeah.
Don't worry, I got this.
Erdina, can any Russia paths go kind of LARP and try to take Alaska? Yeah, have fun conquering North. Have fun. Good luck. I mean, it's possible. You can do it. It would just...
But why?
Situation.
I think the question is if you're able to maintain control of Alaska via an occupation event in any of the paths, and I don't know.
Strictly speaking, no clue. But is the Eurasia Path it's a Savinkov sub-path.
Katie, you should send volunteers to Napop, Italy.
No, I'm good.
Only help the legionary allies.
No, I'm good.
The biggest Russia, Eurasianist Russia can get, what was it? Xinjiang, Mongolia, and Manchuria.
Yeah.
No core Renos. You can get the resistance down and everything else, but flames. The whole point is like map painting. After World War II.
You don't think I can take Sofia? I feel like this is just going to be a permanent...
Force attacked, I think, if you force attacked.
It's
yeah,
possible.
if you force attack, you should be able to.
I might try that.
Maybe you want to build up planning a little bit, and then you can...
The thing is, if you take Sophia, I don't know if that's going to be enough. I think
it's not.
It
won't. I think it'll be enough.
They need to lose... I think they also need to lose Skopje.
And then Plovdiv. Those are like the three most important cities aside from Varna.
Oh, this is so. It was the People's Monarchy. Y'all, it'll take a while to get into. The People's Monarchists are something.
They are. It is certainly a thing.
It's one of the paths of all time in my opinion.
They definitely exist.
Yeah.
Basically, from an outsider's perspective, I would think that the People's Monarchist path is the path that no one was expecting. Everyone knew that Russia would have various democratic paths, and monarchists, and socialists, and Savinkov, of course. But People's Monarchists go above and beyond anything that anyone could think up with. They are the iconic new path.
Yeah, they're so woke that you end up in a place you never think you would, and that's where I'll stop. Sounds like Milano Rossi. Please tell me it's not the... No, it's not.
No, it's not like red monarchism.
It's not. It's absolutely not red monarchism.
Like People's Monarchism is basically that, in the good olden times of Russia before Peter the Great and serfdom and aristocracy, when Russia was like wholesome and cottagecore under the Tsars, you only had like two classes. You have the wise and powerful Tsar who decides everything, and he has his like advisors, but like there's no like aristocrats or capitalists or like lieges like that. And then there's the free peasants who govern their own land and like are they are subjects of the Tsar willingly because they understand that that's like the ideal social system. So like Solonovich kind of the People's Monarchists combine this like they have this sort of anti-elitist rhetoric that like capitalism and landlords suck, and they want a system that is like monarch with absolute power, with like advisors from different groups of people, and like free peasantry and like free people underneath. So this is like a mostly cope, but this like very original thought from Solonovich, and it's like it's such a fascinating because he actually like writes massive amount of it, about it, and it's such like different from the usual cope that like white emigres had. That was just like okay, but like the monarchy was like good, and we just need to do it like better this time. Like Solonovich is actually like kind of disagreeing that the Russian, like he actually said that, like anyone who claims the like late Russian Empire was like a good state is like stupid, and like refuses to acknowledge the system sucked. So you need to like fix the social problems first to have your absolute monarchy.
Tsars with an actual brain is vaguely terrifying.
Yeah.
Matoro, you would be Matoro, you would be a really good propagandist for the People's Monarchist.
Katie, why don't you try consolidating the army? And do you have a field marshal assigned to give their?
I guess I don't.
Yeah, and you can motorize supply. That also.
Oh, that's true. But I mean, this war is almost over.
I just need to interject. He's not just a Tsarist with a brain. He's a Tsarist with brawn.
Oh, that's so true.
It helps that Solonovich is like a bodybuilder and martial artist.
Oh wait, Katie.
And like he's like strong man also in sense that he's like strong.
A little surprised. I don't.
It makes sense. That's also why he idolizes the pre-Peter Tsar era, because it was Peter who made him woke and feet.
Game Rack, do we want to do this? The Solonovich minigame, quote unquote. It's not even a minigame.
Solonovich minigame is basically just like fighting game. It's not such a big deal. Like it's
really.
Yeah, it's good that we are not playing Solonovich, because I want everyone to like encounter that event like by themselves.
Yes, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Y'all will enjoy it. Is all I'm gonna say.
Also, I would say that I am very good propagandist for like every path, not just People's Monarchists. Because like after reading all this stuff and like writing so much about it, I can probably like hype every single path from like very like ideological point of view.
Katie, you have free civs.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
You do.
Matoro, what's your least favorite path? And we have to be honest.
Things.
Well, there. Does this include paths that I like cut away? Because there used to be like, I think like initial versions of like social conservative republic, for example, with Alexander Golitsyn as the main leader. It was like I kind of faced the problem that the man is just not very interesting, and like I suppose it's like a kind of common issue with like conservative paths that if you don't have like if you don't want to change the system in a dramatic way, and you also aren't like fascist enough to be like to do all kinds of crazy stuff, it's just like kind of boring. But like having Solonovich start from that position fixes a lot of things. But yeah, like Russia has more kind of simpler paths, especially like cadet monarchy and a social conservative monarchy are both like they don't have unique mechanic to deal with. Similarly, like you can play cadets as very much like just marry the military-industrial complex and do like vaguely like national liberal policies. So you can play cadets as like very unambitious kind of just ruling party.
You would say that the cadets are kind of the beginner's playthrough. Really, they're the simplest.
Yeah, but you can also do like very like reform-minded idealist cadets.
Well, the cadet monarchy.
Oh yeah, the cadet monarchy.
Yes, so there are differences in like complexity of the paths. They are definitely not all like equal in a sense. I would say that Savinkov is actually relatively simple. With like it doesn't have like annoying timers about your doom, which are quite common in democratic paths. Show the focus trees here for Central
Oh,
Asia.
the Central Asian ones, right?
Yeah.
Brick's
we have-
the point there that Matoro was saying is that like a regular conservative path is hard to make exciting, because if your attitude is I don't want to change anything and I want to maintain the way things are, then it's just hard to make exciting content.
I'd absolutely agree that from a developing point of view, you know, trying to come up with stuff to do that to make a country is interesting for any kind of conservative, social conservative or otherwise, you know, it's a real challenge to, you know, have something that people want to play, and that's something I found for Ireland, because not alone is, you know, the main starting ruling party a you know, fairly middle of the road conservative party, so is the opposition, but then you know, you're not going to have a load of war either, so you just have to manufacture a conflict or something to do from outside as well.
Yeah, it's literally nothing ever happens.
The Canada of Kiva entered the test play only like a couple of days ago, and it's already like a tester favorite, because it's just like a very much pure warlord tag. That's like it has Kaiserreich style like gun smuggling going on, and it's just like very like it doesn't try to pretend anything. Like Surgeston has like great pan-Turkist views and like great dream of unified Central Asia, while Kiva is just like pillaging stuff.
It's so funny. It's like one of the funniest tags, easily. Where was my battle plan?
Katie.
There we go. Someone say my name.
Yes, I love you, but please build things.
What?
Please.
How could I?
Hey, yeah, okay.
Kiva is Khan Kiva is entirely run by warlords, because they overthrew the last Khan during the Russian Civil War.
China right hit strikes Russia.
Do we want to talk about the Circle of St. George?
We could.
At all?
If you wanna.
Yeah. I don't know. I wasn't sure, because someone asked, are there more than one candidate for the Tsar? And I mentioned I responded, technically, strictly speaking, mainstream, Kirill, and then Vladimir III. But there is another option.
Yeah, the Nikita Alexandrovich Romanov, who is basically like Dietrich. If Mikhail Dietrich, who is very, I suppose he's like kind of Solonovich like, in sense that he's like doesn't dig the Peter the Great as emperor, but like harkens back to like Muscovy era, like Tsar of Muscovy. So he also like doesn't want to have basically he wants a monarch that is more controllable, and he doesn't accept Kirill's line. This is the Savinkov party event.
Yeah, so every once in a while, Savinkov will go on parties where they behave themselves and act like decent human beings. And the government is like, wait, where'd he go? Because he disappears for days at a time. He was a hedonist. Moving on.
Let's see. Drug-filled spiritual contemplation. That doesn't sound whole. What are you talking about?
No.
It's not as bad as Stalin.
Look, everyone's spiritual journey is different, and we shouldn't judge him for his.
That's so true. Yeah. Do the different Tsar claimants have different flags associated? The Russian Empire path, the mainline one, has the same flag for all. I actually don't know for the Circle of St. George if they take power. Do they have a different flag?
I don't think so, right?
Do they use the default Far Eastern Army one with like the tricolor? And I don't remember.
No, it changes. I gave it a playthrough. It turns into, I think, the normal Empire flag from what I remember.
Alright, fair enough. That's what I assumed. The army tree.
Do you mind if I address the Iran questions in the Twitch chat?
Yeah, sure.
We are not changing Iran at the moment. We have discussed potentially doing a bit of spring cleaning to get them up to snuff with the original rework lore that was discussed, but it's not a priority right now. It will be something down the line if we do it.
The army tree. I'm sorry, what?
Did I just get encircled by Kiva? I just got encircled by Kiva.
Oh, same.
Remember,
there is, so, Yamato Lux, there is, if you go to the foreign policy tree, there is a focus, if you do it ahead of time, it's only 21 days, there is a focus to prepare ahead of time for the Central Asia War, and it builds a couple of railroads and supply hubs for you. The point is, though, that you need to do the focus. It's either you fight your way over there and do that, or you focus on other stuff. It's your choice as a player.
This is at least an accurate depiction of Russian military policy in Central Asia.
Oh, true.
One, overstretch your supply lines.
What is the... Oh, yeah, the army tree. I think that stream froze again.
It's unfrozen now. That's good.
Okay, one second.
Katie, someone is asking, can you please show the Totalist party description?
Sure. It starts as the Bolsheviks, but the Maximus can occupy the slot later.
There's actually like 6 different Totalist descriptions in the files.
They're asking for specifically the one that's there now. So the ORKB, ORKPB.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hovering over it.
So this is the Rump Bolsheviks. Yeah. They have been coping for 17 or 18 years, and much the same way the Whites did. Matoro knows way more than that. Way more about it than I do, but the cope writing.
Like the Red Emigres have mostly like they've tried to make themselves relevant. They've been active in international brigades. They took part in the British Revolution, for example. But like they aren't as relevant as they would like to be. Some of them have like actual military careers, while others just like write pamphlets. And quite a bit of them have been targeted by the Russian intelligence in the interwar. Like Russia has been trying to assassinate the higher up, and have successfully like killed some in exile in France. And like the socialist movement in Russia itself has sort of grown in different direction, and they don't really like feel like they owe much to the emigres. So there's going to be like a tension in socialist Russia between the emigres who are like kind of think that they should have more influence, but like most people, like most citizens in Russia, are like not really like they don't see the why they should give that much influence to the emigres. Like even if they may like respect them for what they did, but they like nobody's gonna like run to the Russian emigres and be like, can you please rule us now? No, they're gonna like have basically new generation of socialists. Well, not entirely, but like people who have been staying in Russia and not in France and Britain.
Oh, the silly event. I gotta run.
All right, bye, Audrey.
Yeah. It's fun hanging out for another reveal stream. Y'all have a great day. Russia is coming out soon. TM plus 13 million weeks.
This year.
Bye-bye.
Hopefully.
May also remember with the Russian Red Emigres that a lot of them have been a very key military force in different parts of the world. They trained the Kuomintang's army, just like in our timeline, and there's also a couple of them hanging out in Patagonia, which is currently in the game.
Was that you knocking on wood?
Don't worry, guys. 1984 is still here, even with Ardry gone.
No, it's okay. I'm here too.
We do still have moderators on the call, so don't worry, we're still here.
Oh dear, looks like there's some events I need to add some spacing to.
No, you don't need to add anything. Russia is perfect.
So you're saying it's being released today?
No way. No, actually, please edit it.
But it's perfect.
In my eyes, it may not be perfect in others' eyes.
BRB?
Okay.
Testers need to add more bugs before it's released, yes. Oh, Cindy Ireland! Cindy Ireland!
Oh,
okay, finally.
Doesn't it have like a 70% chance? I'll add more bugs when you make the paths more fun.
What?
No, I love them. All of them.
Alright. So in this event, I could establish a loyal, Central Asia here. But I don't really want to do that, and I kind of just want to annex them, so I think that's what I'll do. Bye, Bukhara.
Annex them.
Yeah, like...
We'll find out about that when I have a chance to play.
That's a chunky event.
Yeah, it was added very recently.
More meddling in Poland.
Oh, medal in Poland.
I usually don't do that because it's like so unreliable to me.
Besides, why have an ally Poland when you can just conquer it?
Yeah, true. Also, I need to do something about the Finnish situation. Like right now.
Always with the Finns.
Yeah, you just need to do the one focus. You know the
Yeah,
one.
I'm doing it now. I need their neutrality.
Yeah.
Let's see.
There we go.
Do I need y'all?
Bukhara can side with different parties in the conflict, if I recall. They are not only pro-Russia.
No, Bukhara is always pro-Russian.
Ah, my bad, sorry.
They're only like they're pro-Russian in the sense that Emir Alim Khan is running a bit of an absolute monarchy, and he relies on Russia as a foreign backer to keep everything running smooth, because his rule probably wouldn't last that long without Russia. So he is like pro-Russian from purely selfish reasons.
Katie, so someone is looking to see, I know you showed it already, but just very quickly again, the full general roster that's available for the NatPops, bearing in mind that other governments have different generals.
Sure, let's go ahead and take another look.
Speaking of generals, I asked earlier, but I didn't quite get an answer. In terms of like the replacement replacement for Kornilov, is Denikin or Wrangel more true to what Savinkov would pick?
That's a really good question, because I think to give some context before Katie and Matoro reply, it's one of the early choices that you make in a playthrough that will have consequences based on that will determine what path you can end up with, but also, you know, he's going to be your chief of army. He's going to give its own bonuses depending on, you know, which one you pick. So it's a really important choice.
Yeah, the dynamic there is basically that, like, the army is still too independent. That like if Savinkov just appointed some yes man, he probably would have like head of army who isn't actually running the army, because the army has these cliques, like the monarchist cliques and like a very strong like Kornilov's own clique, who like basically Wrangel and Denikin are their like top candidates. So there isn't option to appoint anyone else, because that would probably just lead to maximum military anger immediately. So it's pointless. And like Wrangel is probably like I think he would actually work better with Savinkov, because they're like Wrangel is kind of a let's say like more reasonable as a person. Like he's more of a schemer, and while Denikin is like extremely stubborn, and Denikin kind of would agree a lot of with what Svobodniks are like saying, like whole peasant thing would be something that Denikin likes, but he also like doesn't like Savinkov at all, and they have like a lot of personal conflict between them. But like then again, Wrangel is like an old school monarchist and an aristocrat whom Savinkov doesn't like very much either.
So what you're saying is Denikin is the canon choice.
It's pick your poison.
You could argue with Wrangel as well that it's a case of keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Yeah.
I need to say that New Englander asks, why are you planning to invade Finland? Invading is rude.
That's true. Oh, I don't have to invade them. They are accepting their neutrality. Very nice. Very nice.
Oh yeah, Matoro. I forgot to say I need to go through all the triggers with all of that stuff at some stage and try and figure out, because I think it doesn't work all the time depending on the government and game rules and that kind of thing.
Yeah, remind me.
Yeah, we'll do it at some stage. Oh yeah, actually, what I have the microphone, I need to really plug the game rules. I think the Russia set of game rules with all of the tags involved, they're quite extensive. I think people will be very happy with them.
They're very well done.
Thank you.
I haven't played with them much because I've mainly been testing as Russia, but I did glance at them and it's rather in-depth.
I should unlock traits already.
Transimer is not in the game in the same sense anymore. They can appear later.
They will appear later because I didn't
really Transimer anymore, though.
Yeah.
It's Transimer in spirit.
I hope
Sorry, I should specify who I am replying to when I answer questions. It was the Great Board.
I think we will see Bolívar and Semyon in this playthrough. Yeah, like don't shoot Semyon.
Oh, I didn't.
Just want to very quickly give a bit of Solonovich trivia that people might not know. In real life, he had in his family album a photograph of Duke Vladimir Kirillovich, who is, of course, one of the people who can become Tsar. That's how much of a monarchist he was.
You can just shoot Semyonov? Yes, you can, but it kind of depends on what you do.
You can guarantee it succeeding.
Yeah, you can hire an advisor and shoot him. I actually do that like a vast majority of the time, but I wanted y'all to see the Far Eastern Army. So I'm basically doing this at my
something very
expense.
similar.
Oh, Katie, you didn't assign the things.
I am assigning the things.
If I recall, Lenin did something similar where he carried around a photo of Chernyshevsky, who wrote what is to be done. So that just seems to be a thing the Russians like.
Yeah, they're just huge fans of other people. Yeah, just keep the photo on them so that they can remember what they're fighting for, I guess.
Can we hover over the second in command as well, so we can see his description?
Yes, Alexander de Rental. You may take a screenshot of that if you want. I'm trying to.
Yeah, like
there we go.
The Rentals and Savinkov's relationship is quite fascinating one because like it seems like it's like extremely deep bromance. Like they were colleagues in the combat organization and did terrorism together. The Rental did at least one murder that we know of, and afterwards, they both volunteered for the French army in the First World War, and so Savinkov and Durantal both fought on the Western Front as like comrades in arms. Savinkov also had a sexual relationship with Durantal's wife with Durantal's consent, and lived with them in a like menage a trois. How the fuck do you pronounce French? I don't know. Like, so like the time in Paris definitely like got into them, but it seems like Durantal is definitely like kind of like he really admired Savinkov. He was like he seemed for Savinkov really hard. But it seems that like Savinkov actually like respected him and like considered him to be like his closest friend and stuff like that. So it's like kind of fucked up, and like other people in the party kind of see the Rental as this like there's a bootlicker who isn't like very talented himself, but more like a secretary of Savinkov. But he has a lot of power because he like has Savinkov's complete trust.
Oh, the myth of October.
There's a question about LGBT people. Well, first off, LGBT people like the term basically doesn't exist, but like there is this curiosity in the Republican Constitution when mostly cadets were working on the Constitution of the Russian Democratic Federative Republic, where especially Vladimir Nabokov, the father of the author, he argued that criminalizing homosexuality doesn't make any sense because it's crime with no victim, and it's crime that is extremely hard to prove in court. So, like purely from like cadet classical liberal point of view, they argued that there shouldn't be a ban on homosexual activities. So that's how it ended up in like interwar Russian law that it isn't banned. Of course, it's not like socially tolerated. It's still like 1920s, but nonetheless, it is like not a crime.
Matoro, you know the relationship that you're describing between Diktov, Derentala, and Savinkov?
Yeah.
So I think from everything you describe, really, it sounds very similar to the relationship between Matoro and Katie.
What? No, it does not.
No comment.
Interesting.
As well. We had a question as well if there are any flavor events about Kalmykia and the Kalmyks.
They should be mentioned in various ones, right?
Yeah, and Kalmyks are one of the various autonomies you can found in paths that end up doing original autonomies. I don't think there's like a Kalmyk event, but they are like present in a bunch of stuff.
I might write something if I have time to do some more flavor.
Yeah, sure.
Because the Kalmyk political movement around this time is actually pretty fascinating.
Yeah.
We have incorporated a lot of flavor about different ethnic minorities, different minority nationalist parties. You can find them in a few places if you hover over advisor descriptions or general descriptions.
Russia's policy towards China is that you can. I think it's like. How does that even work? Like, it's not fixed to they don't have like a single clear fight that they're supporting.
Anyone really that isn't Fingshan or LKMT if you're not socialist.
Yeah, like generally they would support just anyone who like doesn't help their enemies and has a shot at winning. The right KMT is probably like the I would say closest.
From China's perspective, there is a focus in Liangguang there's a Russian advisor focus that's still on the game, and that hasn't been changed because the RKMT still wants to buddy up with Russia.
Yeah. Yeah, I would like one of the influences of Savinkov in the world is that I would say that his regime is seen quite positively by like kind of agrarian but like modernist movements in lesser developed parts of the world. Like, okay, the planned Iran rework already does that, but similar, like I would say that some groups in China and like say Indonesia and like you can kind of see why Savinkov style, like you have mostly rural country, you have industrialization program, and like kind of this like I suppose it's third way thinking that he uses in his rhetoric that is like not in German bloc and not socialist, but like steals good ideas from everyone. So that's kind of what I would think would be copied somewhat, or at least seen as like a possible model.
Mind if I answer the question about Central Asia in the chat?
Yeah, sure.
Othmar Garitos asks about the Jadidists, or Jadidists. They are very influential in pretty much any form of organized Muslim politics, both in Central Asia and among Russian Muslims as a whole. They're really just like the foundation of all organized Muslim politics. So yeah, they are very influential. Now, most of the governments you see in charge at the start of the game are traditional right-wing conservatives who do reject a lot of what the Jadidists wanted, but they still acknowledge that, hey, these are really influential political movements, political parties, and have incorporated a lot of that into their own policies. Even the Emir of Bukhara has to cooperate with the Jadidists to some extent, or else the government won't function.
Yeah. So like there will be actual Jadidist paths in parts of in some Central Asian tags, but we ended up like Central Asia just as one path per tag. in Russia release, and there will be later Central Asia expansion that adds quite a bit of paths. But like, we wanted all of them to have like one well fleshed out path without having time to do all of them.
Yeah, I can talk about them all day. There's some very interesting things there. Especially among the young Bukharans, when we have time to build onto them.
I love how Bulgaria is winning the Balkan War now. Like, I've completely given up on that. I should have sent those air volunteers. I really should have. I'm serious.
I mean, the gamer thing to do that would be really lame would be set Bulgaria to go democratic and join, or sorry, to go Zvino and to join you if they won.
True.
May I answer something in the chat?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Someone is asking if Savinkov would influence Indians. I'm just going to ask what Indian movement they're referring to. This is Mikhail 610. I'm like cursory knowledgeable, so I think I could help a bit there, but Indian is too general of a term. I'm just curious as to what he means. They mean, sorry.
Oldrev is a traitor.
He is. But he won't last for long.
He's a goddamn hero.
I should probably start setting up my armies here. I guess I'll just like put everything into one thing, then I can separate them all again. That's probably what I'll do.
Your troops suffered a lot of attrition.
Yeah, they did.
That was a bad idea. To send them all to.
This event is brilliant. You should everyone should screenshot this. It's sick.
I like this event. This was one of my favorite events that I made.
Actually, the event is really good, but the person who wrote it did a really bad job.
Aww.
Keep in mind that the stream is a couple of seconds behind.
I got you. Weekends will be fun.
There's a question about Russian military doctrine, like the military thinking of the whites is the military doctrines that are in focus tree are based on like one side is Nikolai Golovin and the other side is mostly like Evgeny Messner and some other. It also has like Markov and stuff like that. Basically, both sides are still supporters of like quality over quantity. That was very much the white, like Russian whites thinking that army should be like the best of the best with like focus on training and equipment and stuff like that, and just using mass doesn't achieve victory. And Russian army has enjoyed very high funding in the war because of the pervasive military political influence. So they have quite good equipment, and that's of course like meant that the governments have had way less money for everything else, which has contributed to social unrest and stuff like that. But like the army is in very good shape initially. They have a decent amount of like armor experiments done and like some modernized units and such. I'm not sure. Like there is no like significant difference between the sides of the military. It's all very mired in politics. But yeah, I'm not sure what to explain about it more. But yeah, it's still in the end of the day, like Russian army. It's gonna be like it has advantage of like being very large, and there would be like elite guard units that have like I think the basic idea of the whites here is that they have guards armies and other like elite forces that are like have best of the best, and then they have like a lot of worse quality units that just like you can't have the same quality everywhere. But the best units are very good, and the worst are quite bad.
May I respond to the same person again, the India person? They have made another response.
Yeah.
May I address that? What you're saying? Well, I think that what Matora was saying was not specifically that just like Savinkov would influence agrarian movement, but specifically those kind of agrarian, populist, nationalist movements that often tended towards fascism, OTL. Good example of like a third world one of this would be Sukarno. I'm kind of plugging here, but I consider Sukarno to be one of the closest characters I've ever seen to Savinkov ideologically in our timeline that got into power. But so it's not simply that like India is agrarian, but I do think Savinkov would influence the more like agrarian, hyper-nationalist, populist types in India that aren't really represented in game at the moment. That they may come up in a future rework, but I just wanted to say the question is a little too broad to answer, and that Savinkovism is much more specific than simply agrarian industrialization. Sorry.
You can compare it a bit to the way the Soviet Union was held up as a model for industrialization in our timeline.
There's also already a case of, they're not right-wing, but the CRS and the LKMT talk about the Chinese Savinkov, and a lot of the CRS figures were actually blue shirts who were sympathetic to fascism in our timeline, so there is some influence there.
There's some questions about like Savinkov and different ethnic groups. In all my reading of Savinkov's work, I've read everything that he wrote. He's never really cared at all about like ethnicities. He didn't really see the world in terms of like different ethnic groups, but like more like weird overreaching civilizations. Like you have the Russian civilizations that includes like basically like Slavic world in general, and you have like Germanic civilization that is like evil and bad, and individual parts of these civilizations, like whatever, they can like do their own thing if they are like loyal, and they will be shot if they aren't loyal. But of course, like his regime would have a lot of Russian chauvinists, and it is still like it is basically a fascist regime that does suppress minorities in mostly with justification that they're like less politically reliable, and like with accusation of separatism and stuff like that. But personally, I didn't think he ever cared about it that much.
Right, this person has been asking this question a few times now. I don't really understand the phrasing, but how lose peace out with Reichspakt will work after the rework? Are you asking like, how
the old thing we put out about the different potential peace deals?
It's in general it's the same as now. So you have descriptive peace. It should be it's available for all governments. If it's socialist government, then it's just like socialist collapse and it becomes like right is Russia. But the idea is that Russia would always be pieced out through descriptive peace, and that sets up Bolshevik's Russia if Bolorev's free army exists. Yes, he is playable. He starts as a government in exile in Germany. And there's post-defeat content if you play through Bolerev, but like not really otherwise. Like if you aren't playing Bolerev, you are expected to win, and if you don't, that's just a skill issue.
True. Russia is not that hard to play overall, I would say.
Yeah, I would agree with that statement. You
Like,
just need to make sure you're growing. You can't just sit back and relax. You have to.
Yeah.
I don't think that the learning curve for Russia is particularly steep. It's extremely enjoyable, but it's not too intimidating to just jump in.
I can answer another question that Gaylord had about the Chechens, and Matoro may feel free to correct me on this. If I recall, they are still being cultivated as sort of an ideal minority that is loosely loyal to the central government.
No, that's the like Dagestan Ossetians. How do you pronounce it?
Yeah, I'm happy to comment on this as well.
Are the loyal ones, and Chechens and Ingushetians are the ones with the most separatist tendencies. But yeah, like Dagestan is the ideal sort of minority group. Of course, there's like a multiple minority groups there.
Yeah, and in terms of the minorities in Oskab that Matoro was mentioning, that would mostly be the Ossetians, the Kumiks, the Avars to an extent, the Kabarjans, and one more I might be forgetting. But yeah, the Chechens and Ossetians are considered the most rebellious ones.
Yes,
or pardon, the Ingushetians, not the Ossetians.
What I was saying, sorry, was that they had historically been cultivated, and now they have become more naturally conscious and have begun rebelling.
Yeah, that's largely because of the civil war, with certain ethnic groups sided more with the Bolsheviks and had like a Bolshevik-aligned liberation movements. So those groups kind of are branded as the bad ones by the whites, which affects how they're like seen afterwards. And the groups that sided with whites or didn't have as much positive presence are seen as more loyal.
Yeah, and it isn't necessarily a hard and fast rule. Like I think one of the early events that you would have seen pop up is the assassination of Ibrahim Chalikov, and he is basically one of like the patriarchs of a broadly like pro-Russian government Chechen clan. So it cuts in pretty deeply.
There was a question about like who is Bolorov and what are his aims. Vasily Bolorov is one of the few Russian white generals who can be described as genuine Democrat. He was loud opponent of Savinkov early on and is in exile in Germany. And during when the World War starts, he organizes a Free Russian Army that is essentially part of the German army. It is government in exile in Germany, and they play kind of like a Free French or Free Polish forces in vanilla until they get like parts of Russia actually under their control. Bolorov basically believes that he only works against Savinkov or Socialist Russia, and he basically believes that his goal is to restore Russian Republic and Russian democracy, and working with Germany to achieve that is like lesser evil than supporting a dictatorial regime. But that's of course like very controversial because that can easily be seen as a collaboration. And he has like some content around that. But his ultimate goal is to like trying to keep Russia as independent as possible. And he believes that by working with Germans, that is like it's better to be involved in the war than just like hope that if Russia loses, you'll have like good outcome.
Someone asked if you're limited to only 4 research slots as Russia. No, I just haven't taken the research slot from this tree because I never took it. This tree is a little bit less useful in general as Savinkov because these decisions improve Black Monday, but Lost God already does that for you, so you're kind of less incentivized to take this tree than some other paths. It has been changed a little bit, but still.
So what you're saying is that you should buff the tree?
No.
Why
would I need to buff anything? It's perfect.
Yeah, like it's intended that Savinkov can kind of like force his way through the industry side, while other Russians have to invest a bit more in industry 3.
I think the Well Creek is going to start soon. I guess I'll just take one more army focus. I think we'll see what happens. How about that?
It's very interesting seeing another player as Russia, because I don't know, seeing Katie do it, it's like a whimsical little child just enjoying it.
I have a question. I actually have a question for Diego if they're still there. So it's basically this rework has been in progress for a long time. It's absolutely huge in its scale, and it's gone through a lot of different changes and iterations and developments. And I guess I'm wondering what has been the biggest change that they've found since the kind of earliest iteration of even the thought of the rework.
Ooh, that is a good question. I would say probably the biggest, if I had to pin it down, would be the expansion of the number of paths. Because I remember like casting my mind back to 2021, 2022. Pretty good ideas for Savinkov, and I think most of the monarchist paths. But I think the democratic and especially the socialist Russia options have just exploded massively. So huge shout outs to you guys for that. Like it looks incredible. The fact that just both in sheer numbers and in depth, like just awesome. Like way more than was envisioned even just a few years ago.
Yeah, we started to work on Russia properly after completing Ukraine. So that's like how long time ago is that? Is that like a year and a half? When was Ukraine released?
It was May in May of last year, I think it was.
Yeah, so that's the time that's like basically everything in the Russia that you're seeing now has been like the old parts that were done years ago basically don't exist anymore. There's like some individual pieces that still are there, but like basically none of it made it to the final cut. Because even if it was okay, it was like hopelessly outdated by the time that like we started to work on this.
Zinehammer has asked me a few times any changes to the Russo-Ottoman Treaty. So I helped about. Oh, there you go. Oh, wow! What coincidence! What absolute coincidence there. The event popped up as I was talking about it. So, yeah, basically, generally Russia is now more inclined to make an agreement, and the Ottomans are more inclined to also make an agreement. So it'll happen more frequently, and the end result will mean less likely that Russia is going to, immediately declare war on Afghanistan, and it's more that they'll get a war goal that they might use later on. But that it's still a bit up in the air. We're still working it out.
There was 2 questions about. First of the status of Russian Orthodox Church and Savinkov. The Orthodox Church is independent, led by the Patriarch. So as it became independent in 1917, and it's divided between the at the start, Patriarch Anthony is like very old school monarchist and like very, very conservative, and then there's like a kind of another faction that is somewhat pro Savinkov, or more social focus, I guess, like more drawing from the more focused on like Church's role as a supporter of like a poor people and stuff like that, so that they kind of find political ally from Savinkov. But no part of the Orthodox Church is like clearly behind Savinkov. Savinkov can, of course, like promote them as a way to solidify his power, but he doesn't really like them either. Savinkov personally didn't like the Orthodox Church that much, and his form of religion was more of it's too woke to go much in here, but to read about Dmitry Merezovsky. And the other question about Savinkov a bit further was like, what do ordinary people see in him? Like, why do they support him? And I would say that a lot of support comes from the fact that by 30s, the Liberal Republic isn't working very well. Like, even if they have achieved a lot, they are still like they are unable to offer kind of stability and financial prosperity that people would want, and various far right and far left groups, less of a far left because they're banned, but Savinkov especially like uses this like discontent, so he can appeal to multiple groups. Like, some support him for the revanchism and nationalism, but a lot support just because they see him as like somebody who can put things straight and like fix the republic that is ineffective, and like just also basically selling out to the capitalist interests in especially Germany. So I think that means a lot there, and I don't think that people would care as much about like what Savinkov did like 20 years ago. Like, if you think about like real politics, for most political leaders that doesn't matter that much. Like it's just not something that would be seen as that relevant. Like making voting decisions based on what people did 20 years ago.
I think a really good. You're dead right. I think a very good comparison here would, like, a revolutionary country like Russia at the time would be Ireland in the 1930s. It was, less than 20 years on from the War of Independence, and a lot of the politicians at the time would have been previous active participants in the War of Independence. But I mean, what they did as individual things didn't really come up very much. It wasn't that relevant. They weren't doing that anymore. They were a politician now, so that's what was really what they were being judged on.
Wait a second, where's Transamir? Oh, there it is! Alright, he's a traitor to Russia, and I'm gonna crush him.
There's a question about radical progressive authoritarian paths a la Kemalism. Yes, but Savinkov.
Hero.
Katie, there's a question in the chat from someone called Kazim, asking you to talk about the oil in the focus tree.
We can ignore.
You're literally a team member. Why are you asking stuff? What do you mean?
There's a question about Trans-Amur uprising. So basically, if it succeeds, you will have either you can have a Siberian state, or you can become like Russian rival government and try to like take all of Russia.
should we show the?
Oh, should we show it?
The
tree.
The two trees.
What do you think?
For
Matoro, should I show the Far Eastern Army tree?
Yeah, show it.
Sure. So this is basically the starting tree where you fight everyone. You have mini branches based on Semyonov, one on Diterix, getting manpower, and then getting equipment. So you'll have to be focusing on all these things at once. It's honestly a really fun game. My favorite thing about the new, technically new transmitter is that it definitely is painful, because like marching across Siberia is painful in general, but I don't think it's nearly as painful as it used to be. And it also just like I think a really good part is post-war you're not going to have to fight like Germany and everyone. You're just going to fight like Boldy Rev one-on-one. So that makes it like way less painful to play than before. And you can actually reasonably unify Russia. Alright, well, what are we doing right now? There we go.
Yeah, I'd agree about the Far Eastern stuff being considerably easier. You know, I'm notorious on the team for being terrible at military stuff, but you know, I was able to inefficiently make my way across and win.
It really depends on how much you want to shoot yourself in the foot while playing Russia to guarantee your success, while also making sure they don't immediately die to Germany and the Reichspakt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I decided slightly implausible thing of not recruiting any new units, but I didn't get rid of any of the starting ones.
Oh, I took 2 of the main provinces with Belarus here. That means I can probably push it deeper into them, I would think. Let's see if I could actually push it to... I think I might be able to. Let's see. Okay, I can't push there. What's it looking like? Okay, this... Stop him. Go to Baku, we'll kill everything there.
Do you have the one Yekaterina still?
Yeah, yes I do. How long is it? Okay, so I still have 102 days until I capture Kiev. So I got a lot of time. The Ukrainian army just like completely shattered.
Yeah, the Operation Yekaterina is like it's named after, because like
it's named after me.
The Empress Catherine the Great was the one who conquered most of Ukraine and a lot of like Belarus and other regions that are like being conquered here. So it felt fun little nod that they would name the military operation to retake the lands that Empress Yekaterina once took as like this. And I kind of wanted it to be something memorable. Like, we do lack kind of wartime lore, because like operation names and stuff like that, and that helps a bit to flavor it.
Someone asks what's happening with Kolchak. He's just your starting chief of navy. Game.
Yeah, like after the Civil War, Kolchak stands down and lets the Constituent Assembly do its job, and Kolchak just leads the navy as and has significant influence in like military politics. Like, basically he and Kornilov are both like basically running things as the most respected military figures. There is a quite long event chain about Kolchak's final Arctic exploration based on actual Soviet exploration of the Sanikov land in 1937. Katie didn't do that focus, I think. But yeah, there's like entire polar expedition event chain there, and I'm it's probably like my favorite part of the Russian content.
So what basically is the story is that even though he is no longer the leader of a country at game start, I would say he definitely has far more content about him now than he did before.
Yeah, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, he also just gives you a ton of naval experience.
This is kind of indicative, really, of how in depth the reworks in Kaiserreich have come. In that, you have more lore and descriptions and detail about individual advisors than you might have several years ago about an entire country. And that's not to say that good work wasn't being done at the time. And really what it really just shows is it shows how in depth and how long it takes to make things nowadays, because it's we have very high standards for ourselves, and it can be something that's even difficult itself to keep up with.
How is this operation going? There we go. We're so back. We're so winning.
We're so winning. I was curious, Katie. You made like a motorized self-propelled artillery division. What was up with that?
I heard Jerv say one time it was good, and honestly, it still hits pretty hard while being fairly cheap to make compared to like normal tanks. So I kind of like.
There's a question about how common the Trans-Amur revolt is. It always happens with socialists, but Savinkov can stop it before it starts. It doesn't happen with others. Free Russian Army always happens for socialists and Savinkov.
Oh, should I show the Boldy Rev tree actually?
Yeah. I think you can access it from
I can access it from here because they have.
Also, the amount of paths, I don't know. I have no idea how many paths she has.
I was in the middle of typing out a message actually, so I'll just say it. So it's like
I don't know how I would like quantify them. Like what are paths?
I mean, if you wanted to be very simple, you would say there's the Savinkov dictatorship, there's the Republic, there's the monarchy, and there's socialists. And then there's the other thing that I don't know if we've talked about that yet.
We've talked about it. I think Wrangle.
The Wrangle.
Wrangle path.
So, I mean, look, you can talk about, in general terms, there's 5, but then within those there are, Savinkov has 3 very slightly variant subpaths. The Republic and the Monarchy are generally actually quite similar, and the big differences are within what parties are in power, and there's 4 for each. But then even those can have slight variations between who's the leader and who's the leader of the party and the different coalition members. So there's, roughly speaking, 4 subpaths for both the monarchy and the republic. And then for the socialists, I suppose you could say there are about 5 subpaths, if you want to call them that. What do you think? Does that sound kind of reasonable, or?
Yeah, I suppose there's like I think the number of leaders, like potential heads of state, who are not just temporary, is like 22.
Oh yeah, and then there's the Wrangle path, which is less. It doesn't have as much because obviously you can only take power when the war has started. But I mean, even that has access to a lot of the content that the monarchy path does, but also a unique subpath as well. So,
one thing to mention is that you can switch to Semyonov from Fengshan or Japan, and you can switch to Bolshevik from Germany or any Eastern European Reichspact ally. And for example, like Bolshevik gets Germany's tax, not Russia's. So it's kind of, I think it's better option than playing Russia and trying to self-sabotage here. Instead, you can like build up your future ally and then switch.
Actually, I have a question. I just thought of it there now. What do you think would be out of the new, this new update? There's a lot of new content for Russia. You've got the Free Russian Army. You've got the Far Eastern Army. You've got all of Central Asia. Taking everything into account, what do you think is the best new multiplayer co-op scenario that could come out of this?
I don't know. Bukhara is like, if you don't annex Central Asia, you can give it to Bukhara, and Bukhara becomes like your ally puppet Turkestan. So that would be quite natural, like co-op ally if you just want like chill ally. But I don't know.
One that comes to mind is Boldyrev playing, like, a German ally playing as Boldyrev.
I suppose it helps that with New Russia you basically have both expansionism and realpolitik. Like from current options, you can do both. Like there is no such distinction anymore. So all Russians can have all potential allies. So and some new allies.
The Belarus situation is not great right now, I must admit. But it's fine.
Interactions with Balkans have not changed much. There's like, we've added a lot of various foreign policy things and interactions with different places, but like it's mostly just like improving what is already there, and not like not much new dramatic things.
The Fourth Balkan War is still going on.
Oh yeah, it is. That's crazy. Should I just go for Kiev? I think I should.
The reason why you are seeing some parts of Russia in Boldyev's control is that he has civil war, like in mechanical terms, with Russia. So that like when Reichspact controls land from Russia, it goes to Boldyrev, who serves as like the occupation force also. This doesn't mean this doesn't change the claims that Ukraine or Belarus or Finland have. They still get their claims. So player Boldyrev can affect that. Russia's cores have not changed. Japan and Fengshan are not allowed to join the Transformer Revolt. They don't. They don't join the war. Like Japan's goal there is to have like minimum amount of effort to just. It's more of a thing that Quantum Army does than like Japanese government. It shouldn't be seen as like Japan is actively like causing the revolt to happen, but more like opportunities, taking the opportunity to just destabilize Russia by sending a rebel a bit more support.
I'm gonna try to do a gamer move on Ukraine right here. Let's see if it actually works out.
Fingers crossed.
We'll see if my epic gamer move works out.
So in the scripted piece, the Far Eastern Army, so some our districts, gets all the land that they control. So if you get to the Omsk or something, you keep that. But usually that means that the Far Eastern Army is pretty small, what they actually get, and the rest goes to whoever controls Moscow, so usually Bolorov.
Do you think my gamble will work here?
Yeah, it's good to be ambitious.
You only need to get that last Polish division at best.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Or the
I need to stop some guys from. Oh, actually, did I already encircle it? I already encircled it. Damn.
Get your screenshots ready for r/HOI4.
Reddit.
No.
Reddit encirclement.
Yeah. This is so wholesome Reddit right now. Oh yeah, I can encircle more.
Get your silvers ready.
What?
Get your Reddit silvers ready.
Oh yeah. Let's keep on advancing. Maybe we can take some parts of Belarus actually. It might be difficult though, because we have a river. Ugh. Okay, maybe.
There's more questions about this piece. So just to clarify, there's Free Russia just becomes the Russian Republic after the war. They can be they will have elections where you can either get Bolorov path, which is what player will get, or you can have also non-Bolorov options, for example, SVR Germany can enforce monarchy, which creates puts Vladimir on the throne. But basically, it is the Russian Republic that is born out of that. Vlasov is in the socialist roster because he was a Red Army officer, and he can be recruited by Bolorov in there's Bolorov can his roster, general roster depends on who he's fighting. So if he's fighting Savinkov, he can recruit quite a bit of more left-wing or left-leaning generals, while if he's fighting against socialist Russia, he can get a lot of quite nationalist right-wing generals.
I just realized I wasn't using the planes the entire time. I was still cooking them.
Yeah. Well, you have to still deal with Fortress Sevastopol.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think Russia is one of those countries that you could definitely even co-op it between two people, so that one person controls.
There is enough going on that it can absolutely be co-opted.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what is it? I don't play much vanilla, but isn't one of the big strategies is playing the Soviet Union and not building any planes?
Is that so?
I don't know. I don't really pay attention to vanilla co-op competitive meta.
There will be no Balkanization or splitting of Russia. That doesn't make any sense. That was already done in the Brest-Litovsk Treaty. That basically split up all rational parts that you can split up from Russia. That are like Chechnya. You can still take away Mountain Republic, but enforcing some kind of pointless split doesn't make it it's just it's not a thing that any German war planner in KR context would want, because their goal is not extinction of a Slavic civilization. That's not a thing with KR Germany, and there's really no other reason why you would like seek to like do that. So no, there's no random plate of Russia or something like that. Of course, like you can have like after the war, you often can have like the far eastern state, depending on their size, and then you have the main Russia, so split in that sense, and you may have a situation where the other is in Japanese ally, and other is German.
How is the Western Front going, Katie?
I think it's going pretty good. I'm circling a lot, so.
No, with the French.
Oh. Not great, but it could be worse. It could be worse.
That's pretty fine. I mean, I remember a few weeks ago we had a stream where we just watched the AI play, and that front was stable, unchanged until 1944.
That's crazy, because usually on the current patch, they die really quickly. Though they do have Belgium this time around, because I did want them to not do complete shit, so...
Why can't you invite Balkan countries yet?
Because they're still in the Balkan War. Yeah. Oh shit.
Oh wait, it hasn't ended.
Yeah, crazy.
Oh right, yeah. That's a thing.
Katie failed at securing the Balkans.
Katie should have set the game rules for Bulgaria to join the Russian faction, so that then she could have just sent everyone.
Or the Ottomans to intervene.
I love that Markov portrait. That's.
It's really good. Yeah.
I love.
Yeah, he's one of those. Actually, Russia has a lot of figures who were either like dead, were like killed way before they like for this, or just like plain irrelevant. Russia's been like really fun to research because it's just basically every leader, almost every leader is quite obscure, from historical research point of view. Like, of course, Savinkov is like well known, but that's just because he's using mods. But like, it's not like he's actually well known historical figure.
Yeah, on the topic of Markov, I've always been curious why he has like the tank commander or tank officer trait.
The idea is that this actually happens in some other KR tags too, where you kind of have to
balance.
You have to reason that which generals who weren't a thing in the Second World War who would end up as armor proponents, and that's not if you look at what kind of people let's say in German army ended up supporting being most enthusiastic about armored forces. It's not really some easily defined group of people. Usually it helps if they have a cavalry or artillery background or something quite technical or mobility oriented, but that's not always a correlation. So I just figured that Markov as cavalry commander who was quite open to new strategies and tactics, that it would make sense that he would end up embracing armored warfare. He's not the main proponent of armored warfare in Russia. That would be Yakov Shlashkov, probably. But you just have people kind of end up supporting mechanization of forces, even if they didn't, course, do that during World War I.
And no, that makes sense.
I might be able to encircle part of Belarus here, but this tile is going to be really hard. I need to connect my forces here. Otherwise, I won't be able to do anything. Alright, here we go. I think I can win this. I think I can get this. Oh, shit. Okay, that developed quickly.
You're attacking into marsh. We do not attack.
This is why you build flamethrower tanks.
No, I'm good. It doesn't matter if you get the battle quickly, it matters if you get the battle. No, I don't care about Armenia, sorry.
Puppet German content has not been changed, but it's not the actual general who handles the occupation is changed. But like it's up to Germany team how all that stuff works. Yeah, it's not Shukov anymore because Shukov just really makes that much sense in context of KR.
He's not even that big of a player in socialist Russia anymore, right?
Yeah, like Shukov is kind of he is officer in Russian army at game start, but without a chance to prove himself, there's not as much ways to rapidly rise in the ranks, and anyone who was involved with the Reds generally has worse time trying to get promotions. So he is promoted to general roster mostly by socialist or in some republic paths. So it basically takes removing a bunch of other mostly generals who are in the whites from the way for Shukov to rise.
Yeah. The socialist Russia general roster is fairly interesting, though, I will say. I don't know how much I'm at liberty to say.
Yeah, it's definitely quite politicized because there's both there's the red emigres who are quite probably best generals, but they're always involved in politics and kind of.
Wait, what? Hey, yo!
what
the neutrality didn't work somehow.
Oh no.
Okay,
that's probably an oversight.
Yeah, it is.
Tester. It's probably because we always just try to invade Finland rather than go for the treaty. At least that's what I always do.
Savinkov and the Greens. Savinkov kind of appropriates the Greens from the Civil War as his own thing. Antonov, Alexei Antonov is in. Was he Alexander or Alexei? I don't remember, but Antonov, the Tambo.
Yes, Alexei.
Alexei. He's a party member and supporter of Savinkov. He's probably governor of Tambo or something like that.
If I recall, didn't Savinkov also steal his political uniforms from Kornilov or Droz?
The Savinkov uniform is not the Kornilovit one, but after the Civil War, most of the white forces wanted to have their own cool uniforms, like Volunteer Army had. So Northern Volunteer Army, the one that started from Savinkov's Yaroslav and Rybinsk uprisings, they kind of make Kornilov-inspired uniform after the war that they start using as party uniform, and it's green and black. and that becomes like their sort of paramilitary uniform. But the colonial type black uniforms would be used in, I think it's the first Guards division that Colonial White became. So the uniforms aren't used in combat, but all of the fancy white uniforms are used as parade and dress uniforms by the units that kind of continue the traditions of the like relevant white units.
Gotcha, thank you very much. I half remembered that.
Hold on, I think we're cooking right now. I think we're cooking. Hold on, I think we're cooking.
You have a pretty easy encirclement.
Yeah,
pull off.
We could cook here. This is a cook opportunity right now.
I believe in you. Also, yes, as people said in the chat,
get the chef hat ready.
12 days to capture Minsk, I can do that.
It feels like it's been taking you a long time, but it's only September 1940. Like, you haven't really been at war that long. It's probably just because you're microing this a lot more than I normally would.
Yeah. Oh shit. That's crazy. Oh. Wait. Hold on. Oh. Come on. Take it. Oh, there we go. We are so back. We are so back, Savinkov bros. Wait, can't I just encircle this too? Say yes. Give me this. I want this. Oh, I need to put my plans here. Please. Alright. I need to take these as well. Take this.
Matoro, we had a question about what is Savinkov's connections to the social revolutionaries. Can he integrate them?
Earlier in this playthrough, there was an event about fate of the Socialist Revolutionary Party, and basically all parties in Russia are banned except SSR and their allies, but they get like, especially SRs are pressured to join Savinkov's party. Like, Savinkov basically tries to portray himself as like a true heir to the SR cause, like that he stands for the ideas that the SR stand for, but like it's not a socialist revolution, it's a national revolution. But they still stand for like the people and all of the other lofty things. And quite a bit of his movement are former right SRs, like the foundation of his party are largely like SRs who fought for the whites in the Civil War and kind of radicalized in anti-communism and view that the SR like goals were largely achieved with the Republic.
Oh, shit.
And now they need to defend it from everyone else, basically.
Gotcha, thanks.
Katie, if you're going to try to take Sevastopol, be sure to use the Navy for the
I don't think
bombardment.
I don't think I'm even gonna take it. I'm just gonna put 2 divisions here and leave it like that.
Fair enough.
To be honest. I'm gonna take everyone who is not on the transmitter front. And
yeah, with the Far Eastern army, it's definitely a balance of keeping them at bay, but also not pulling too many forces away from the West that you aren't able to make proper offensives, but you also just can't ignore them, which I really like, personally.
yeah. Alright, let's just make a unified battle plan here, because we have the opportunity to do that. I think
this is one of the things that the rework has done well, is that the Far East will only rise up against Savinkov and the Socialists. And the Savinkov, anyway, is fairly... It would be noticeably more powerful than the other paths,
Right.
So he has to, he's a bit more powerful, but he's got more things to juggle. That East Front isn't going to go away that quickly.
Yeah, it's not like Transmur in the current release where you can just send like 15 divisions and they'll die within 3 months.
Oh, I can invite Greece.
They will
nice.
be a constant thorn in your back.
Okay, I think I'm gonna just try to beat the shit out of the Pact with the battle plan. Why not?
It will probably do well.
Yeah, I think so. I'm also gonna just do a couple of force attacks. Do a bunch of them. There we go. Let's fucking win this shit.
I also do find it interesting that Wrangel's stats were kind of... Oh, you got a breakthrough in the Dawn region. They broke over the Kerch Peninsula.
Okay, that's a problem, I think. I was like...
Here come the Austrians.
You said, oh, we got a breakthrough. I was like super happy, and then I saw it in the Dawn region. I was like, what do you mean? It's kind of tragic.
Good thing I spotted it.
Yeah, that's kind of sad, actually. Alright. Well, it doesn't matter, because we're gonna beat them anyway.
I was going to say, Wrangel's stats being... He seems like his stats are worse across the board than what it is in release.
Yeah, I think he's like a lot better as a... he's very
general
good.
rather than
He's very good as an army chief because of that supply consumption and the max planning. Those are really good stats.
Right.
Okay. I don't know. This breakthrough kind of looking weak right now. I don't know what this was. I don't know. Like, this is kind of weak sauce right here.
You might be able to come off before they get to the strait.
Yeah, maybe. Or I don't know if I can actually battle plan this super hard. The Austrians have arrived, indeed.
Oh no, your northern area is doing quite well.
Yeah, that's true. I am kind of beating their ass.
But that's typically how it goes. So you don't have the forests and the mountains.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is quite difficult. Can I do a combined attack here? Maybe it'll work. Oh, yes, it will. Yep. Here we go. And I want to encircle around
I need to
here.
see the casualties right now. They must be brutal.
They must be really bad. But especially on their end.
Well, if you've been microing how you have, then I think you might actually have a pretty good casualty ratio. Because isn't there an event, if you get over 1 million, yeah, like...
you get military anger for failing at stuff like getting over 1 million casualties and stuff like that.
1 million casualties for Russia is just another Tuesday.
No.
I think like every 1 million casualties has... I just remember how it works.
Sometimes I've had a fire, sometimes I haven't. I think
the use of on-actions for stuff like that is really good, I think.
Yeah, the Russia Rework is incredibly impressive with all the things you guys have accomplished. And it's also created a lot of systems that we can use to build the rest of the mod with. Improve things.
Alright, I gotta put my Air Force in Poland. Oh, it actually gives me air superiority. That's very surprising. My Air Force is not good.
Actually, I've a question for Katie and Matoro. So, what other projects in the mod gave you inspiration for Russia?
That's actually hard to say because I didn't really base my Ukraine experience off of, I didn't really base my Russia gameplay, stuff.
No, I'm referring to stuff that you weren't involved in.
Wait, could you say the question again?
So, what other reworks in Kaiserreich gave you inspiration for the Russia Rework?
That's a good question. I don't know of any. Let's actually give my troops a break. I think this is not going well anymore. And it's unfortunate because my line is like very flat. So I don't really have many encirclement opportunities here. I think I can take out the Far Eastern Army though. Maybe if I just hold here, things will be fine. Maybe in the meantime, I'll just take out...
If you don't take out the Far Eastern Army, then they're going to do the ceasefire.
Oh, that's true, actually. That is true. If they're controlled by Semyonov. Basically what could happen is if you do not defeat the Far Eastern Army by the time you defeat Germany, if Semyonov is in power, he may go to Japan and ask for a ceasefire, and basically he'll become an actual puppet of the Japanese. So you will have to delay your reconquest of the Far East. But I like conquering stuff, and I will not allow that to happen.
It's part of that balance I was talking about earlier, where you decide how much you want to dedicate to it without hurting your primary offensive.
We'll hold out against the Reichspakt for just a while, because I don't really feel like there's anything I could do here.
Yeah. There's custom medals for Russia, too.
Oh, yeah. I looked at some of them just now. I really like them, honestly. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, it's a bit of a alt history project to, like, come up with alternate Russian developments in the 30s, because a lot of mods ended up with things that everything in, like, Russia in 40s is just either same as in imperial times or same as in Soviet Union, because that's the easiest thing to do, that you just copy it. But I've tried really hard not to fall to that, because realistically, even if the whites win, Russia would not be like Russian Empire again, but like you would have actual development of like army organization and administration and everything like that. It would still change. It's stupid to just put everything to like 1980 forever.
We're really trying to cross the river here. As in, I have no strategy, so I'm just throwing myself at the opponent. So optimal, right? I have not looked at chat in like 5 years. So am I actually going to cross the river here, or is it fake news? I feel like I'm not going to cross it here. Unless I get it
I think you're going to be able to... I mean, if you take Danzig, you could just sweep down...
Have I taken Danzig? No, I haven't.
Pretty close.
Though, I am already kind of sweeping down. Let's see here. This is a good place to exploit. I can maybe take Warsaw if I'm really lucky.
The Polish will pull off the miracle at Vistula.
It would be nice. Wait, I need to stop these guys. Stop them. No.
At the start of the stream, Katie, I think I mentioned that you should have set Ukraine to not join Austria. Is that... You said that you changed it? Was that like a whole new thing that was added?
Yeah, so I added a thing where, sometimes even if Ukraine joins the Austrian faction, once Russia starts their war focus, Austria may, like, just straight up abandon Ukraine, but it's mostly, like, intended because, Ukraine in the Austrian faction is pretty bad for balance. Like, I would know because I do a ton of observer games. It just means that Austria can, like, really reinforce, their lines, and basically, like, Russia won't be able to
I've been
take
on
Ukraine.
the receiving end of that in my testing.
Yeah, it's kind of toxic, to be honest. I don't know, maybe I can just...
I really want to talk about Austrian rework stuff, but now was not the time, I think.
Yeah. There's a time and place for everything.
Yeah, I was just more talking about the balancing of the war.
Yeah. Well, that is a very difficult thing.
There are new scripted pieces for China and Japan against Russia, where they can get their, like, especially for like China to get their claims from Russia without having to march to Moscow, which is like probably even more common situation now because Russia started with Tuva, which is Chinese claim.
Alright, we got Romania and Serbia in infection. I'm actually not sure if they should be able to join if they lost the Balkan War. I was actually meaning to talk about that with Matoro, but...
Romania comes out... I mean, you're a dev, but, like, Romania comes out relatively unscathed.
Yeah, but, like...
That doesn't seem intended. So at this point, when Russia is like at the border, I'm not sure. We need to look at this.
Wait, can I take this? I can so take this, right? Right? I think so. It's a river crossing, but I think I can take it. This I can probably take as well. Wait, go. Go there. There we go. Alright, this is where they start to collapse. It's so over for them. I don't even know why I'm researching anymore. It's kind of pointless. It's so over for them.
Can you show the foreign policy focuses for the... There was a question about Russia and international making deals after the war. There's the Eureka conference, which can be it's basically it's not Yalta. It's not like agreement on like further, because Russia is still like both sides are still like inherently opposed, but they try to avoid getting into war right now. So they basically like agree on guaranteeing neutral countries, and like there's a bunch of points that you can do in the negotiations, like phasing out Entente, for example, and stuff like that. Actually, Entente can merge with Russian faction post-war, when Russia basically becomes the like most powerful anti-socialist power. There's also some other factions that like post-war Russia can like do that are quite large.
I think they're cooked. I think they're cooked.
There is content about the nuclear program. Savinkov has some unique nuclear content, but all Russians have stuff about that.
Oh, I am Russia.
Russia doesn't have. Actually, Katie, what did you do for the like enforcing ideology for Russian allies?
There's not too much of it. There's some of it for like Baltics.
Did we just make it for like some tags? Yeah, like I don't think it's particularly realistic outside some of the very like important like Baltic states and stuff like that, which are like really relevant, but Russia's not gonna like enforce their specific brand of ideology in their allies. I
if
think
Russia is market liberal, all of their allies must also be exactly market liberal.
It probably should be done in a couple of cases where it's like very stark different. Like, for example, Savinkov would keep the Iron Guard in power in Romania and like help them against any issues that threaten their role. But like, no, there won't be able to like make all of your allies same ideology.
Actually, as democratic Russia, you may be able to actually like get democracy in your
but it's not it's not the same ideology.
Yeah.
Socialist Russia can join the International, so a more common outcome is that they have their own faction.
I just realized actually could we change the triggers for let's say the Fourth Balkan War goes on ridiculously long like it does here. If Russia borders Romania, perhaps we could have it so that they can then invite Romania.
Yeah, sure. Like, put it down somewhere. I won't remember it after this call.
Yeah, no. We'll add it to the list. It might get done. It's just because the Fourth Balkan War and the War in the Desert lasting for like 3 or 4 years is one of the things that I just see it and I'm just like, oh no, please no.
Yeah, I get it.
Russia can get allies in Middle East. They can get How did this happen? They have a lot more potential allies than now.
How did this happen? I really was not paying attention.
Because he keeps pulling troops away from it.
I know, but I didn't mean to.
Germany's doing.
It's fine though. I'm gonna crush them. It's still so over for them.
Second breaker.
Even if they're in Moscow, I'll be in Berlin, okay?
This is why I always just try to get Crimea as soon as possible so I don't have to worry about it ever again.
Yeah, no, I get it. Look, they can take Tsaritsyn, it's fine. I'll take Berlin. I think. Oh yeah, I'm cooking them. Oh shit, I'm cooking them. Oh, I'm cooking them.
Critical support to Crimea.
The last bastion of, Damn, okay, you really wanna, like... Oh my god. Jeez,
yeah, that was the event where you got military anger for losing so many men.
Okay, this might actually become a problem.
Oh, that's they're like expanding really fast. You should probably take like an entire army from somewhere and put there because like Germans have. Oh, and it's full of Austrians too.
The AI probably just sees like, oh, from here, better send half my army.
I don't think you can kill Germany before they take Moscow.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
That's pretty bad.
I think Russia would be a legendary way to end the stream.
It really would.
It really would, though.
Yeah.
You know, like...
What will fall first, Berlin or Moscow?
That should be like the Kaiserreich cannon. Crimean army fucking drives the war.
I mean that's basically the volunteer army if they won the war.
Yeah, this is basically Boldyrev just doing the volunteer army bullshit.
Yeah, it was part of the plan. He lost on purpose so that he could do this.
Yeah, this is... Boldyrev is playing 4D chess right now. Meanwhile, I'm only playing like not
This
BG
is
chess.
literally the downfall scene. Katie's like, "Don't worry,
You're playing Jenga. It's all coming down.
Yeah.
don't worry.
Yeah.
Crimea will be dealt with." Katie, Katie.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
playing like
Crimea has been.
Oh shit! No way! It's okay. I've halted their offensive. We're so back. Okay, we're so back. Yo, stop
you're playing like
invading me.
fucking Duncan rock paper
It's actually-
scissors and losing.
It's actually a massive pocket, guys.
Like Katie had this planned from the beginning.
I had this plan from
The
the
moment
beginning.
you clicked start game, it was over.
Okay, think about it this way. Think about it this way. If they're putting troops over there, oh shit! How did I lose Berlin? Okay, we need to stop for a second. I really want to finish this up because I gotta eat dinner and stuff. Wow, they have really. Wow. Okay.
You think Savinkov would eat dinner?
I think he would. I think people often eat dinner sometimes.
I couldn't find a single photo of him eating any, so we don't know.
Well, he is described often in the cafeterias. He really like French dining.
Yeah, what is this?
French dining? That sounds like a euphemism to me.
I'm not surprised at all by that.
I'm very curious where the sources for Savinkov's portraits were derived from.
So I know that the dictator portrait from a Polish biography of him. It was the book cover, and the other one is one I tracked down. I did a lot of looking to try and find late Savinkov photos, and I came across this picture of him from the 20s in Poland. There's just a slight problem, which is that it was absolutely tiny because they'd basically just got the preview image behind like a Dutch photo archive. So it's technically the most expensive Kaiserreich portrait because I paid like 20 quids to this archive to send me the full res digital picture, and then I gave him a moustache and aged him up, and that's how we got him.
What is happening?
Savinkov wasn't actually eating; he was just pretending to eat so that people would think that he's like a human.
Like, because they pulled off like 2/3 of their forces.
Yeah, what the fuck is going on?
What if the German government in exile goes to Ukraine?
If Romania were to fall, you would be screwed so hard, though.
Oh yeah, I would. Shit. Oh, this is so bad. Please just die. Please.
If you can go after to capitulate, it might be
Oh my god, you have no air force and you're still pushing somehow.
Air forces aren't even real.
Oh no.
You know this.
There's so much Germany left.
There's not so much. It's very little.
Oh, don't worry. Morocco pieced out. You're good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm winning because Morocco pieced out.
Morocco was carrying the war effort.
That's so true.
Main watch.
The 4,000 Moroccan troops will slowly pull out of the Caucasus.
Look,
it would be legendary if you lost this one.
Look, I'm winning. I'm winning. You just don't get it.
I was just DM'd a portrait of a shirtless Solonovich by an artist.
Oh yes, I gave some advice for that one. Yeah.
With the suggestion that his portrait takes shirt off during the minigame. Oh no, this is too good.
The minigame is legendary, is all I will say.
Because you could put it where the event picture is currently.
Yeah, but like nothing in the narrative states that he's shirtless.
Yes, it does.
Mattoro, you have to do it.
We can imagine it. We can imagine it.
You have to do it. This has to be done. This is not something that we
you know, the guy's knife goes right across all the buttons. They all, his shirt spreads open for the tactical advantage. He takes it off.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm still winning.
You've taken home over. Right? Now that you've taken home, there's no hope for Germany.
I'm gonna take Munich, and then they're gonna capitulate. Watch.
No, they're not. You need to get the Rhineland.
I hate that you can win like this. I'm going to nerf Russia.
No, don't nerf Russia. This is the only way I can win.
Actually,
there's
something in Russia that needs a lot of nerfing, so I'll have to do it anyway.
Yeah, you're fine as long as you have Petrograd. You only lose if you lose 3.
So gross.
Look, I lost Moscow, but I won. I lost Moscow, but I won.
Yeah, but don't lose Petrograd, or you'll.
Oh my god!
Oh, damn! This
my
is.
god!
The history book's gonna go crazy. Holy shit!
What was Savinkov a genius?
Let him cook. Let's Savinkov cook.
Imagine this timeline's. Imagine this timeline's pretentious YouTube videos. Was Savinkov 4D genius or was he idiot in the world?
I think he was a 4D genius.
Why does the international AI try to take the Osta?
No. This is a Savinkov torch Moscow and retreated from there, and Germans only find it destroyed.
How Schleicher could have won 4 things.
He tested nuclear bomb on Moscow.
This is mine. This is mine.
Oh my god.
I don't care about the Navy.
Legendary war, holy.
Alright, Boldy Rev has been captured. Alright, okay.
Katie, don't you know that the naval strategy for Russia is to steal Germany's navy?
I know, but I don't want to play anymore. Okay, I've won. Victory of the Third Russia.
Victory of the Third Russia.
Slava, or something.
It's the third Russia because Savinkov knows the other.
What? Alright, just snake around in Austria. Look, Moscow has been liberated by my forces.
Ukraine exists, doesn't it?
Yeah. Show the volunteer army. Oh.
Wait. Oh wait, no, it doesn't.
Oh my
it's gone.
Russia's chicken pox.
Oh no, they took back Krakow.
They what?
Do they still? Okay, they don't control.
You need to retake Ukraine and the Caucasus again.
I know. This is so sad.
What if the German government in exile went to Ukraine?
I would lose. Straight up. Yo, this is mine. Yo, stop.
We're just grabbing a lot for some reason in this game.
Yeah, average Brits.
We're even trying to take the Baltic states.
Well, listen, look, we need the land. It's too rainy here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, whatever.
Just give us somewhere warmer, please.
Yeah, it's inherent British need for imperialism.
All right.
One last
stand of the Reichstag.
Yeah.
How did you annex Bulgaria? Bulgaria wasn't capitulated at all.
It doesn't matter. What, you think I'm operating off logic here?
Because Bulgaria was a minor.
Yeah, that's just murder Ukraine.
You need to kill the Caucasus.
Katie, don't forget to put troops on the Kerch Strait.
Yeah, try to get Crimea before they can get Fortress Crimea going on.
They're gonna capitulate before they do another Crimea.
Katie clearly let Ukraine live because, she developed for Ukraine. So she wanted Ukraine to stay alive for as long as possible.
Wow, very big conspiracy here. Yo, what is this song? I am gonna delete that song. No joke. See, Ukraine is being deleted, right now. Also, what is happening with the Caucasus? Yo, let me delete that shit.
Oh, you said song. Oh.
Please. I just want this over with so I can end the stream already. God. Oh my god. Alright, Rebirth of Russia. I literally. Ugh.
This is when America should join the Reichspakt.
What? No, that would be so sad. For me. Alright, I'm gonna retake Kyiv in like 2 seconds, and then they're gonna capitulate, right? Just a couple more.
Yeah, but you need to take the Caucasus also to get like the ending stuff.
Hey, Katie, are there any pods where Russia can join the Reichspakt?
Boldyrev, if that counts.
No, he leaves the Reichspakt after he wins the war.
Yeah, so that's the only thing there is.
Aww.
What do you mean?
Yeah, there's no Reichspakt Russia. Boldyrev can be in Middle Europe and it can be like a kind of an ally, but not into faction. Faction choices are way cooler than that.
I mean, technically it'd be like if for some reason as Germany you don't support Boldyrev and then annex Russia.
Yeah, of course, like you can get puppet that, but like.
Okay, please let
And
this
Russia
end.
joined the Democratic Alliance of the Caribbean.
Really good content.
Please. Why are Georgian troops here? You died long ago.
I've had research in Georgia before because they get the state from the war in the desert after the Ottomans fall.
Yeah, isn't it sad? Anyway, this is over. This is finally over. Finally. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna release everything. I'm gonna send a commander to Ukraine. Oh my god, that was toxic. Okay. Ashgabat. I'm gonna integrate it. Why the fuck do I have Diego Garcia?
Because you took all of the German territories.
Since when did I release Sri Lanka? Yo, what? Alright.
Because you took all of the German territories.
Well, I mean, so? Okay. Form a German Republic. Please. I'm gonna annex the Baltics. Okay, I'm just gonna make perfect borders and then fuck off forever.
Clueless.
Okay.
Russia can still claim Constantinople in certain parts.
Just go eat.
Yeah, they can. They can through like a focus. I think it was.
This is like the best part to most people who play. They're like, finally I can make the map of Europe. Meanwhile, Katie's just like, nah, screw this. Just click, 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 click.
I'm clicking the right button, so you just wouldn't get it.
She needs the chicken nuggets.
Yeah,
I'm clicking all the right buttons.
Always, one, I struggle with determining what to do about it as Russia. Is like, do I give it to Germany or do I make them a rump state or whatever?
No, Katie does not have that problem.
Yeah.
I'm cooking right now.
I don't either. I've never won. You have a skill issue. I never had run into this problem.
I always have to release Czechoslovakia. I think Czechoslovakia is just.
Doesn't want to.
Oh no, yeah, Czechoslovakia is a necessary releasable as any Russian path.
Especially when they have oh shit, what's it called? Transcarpathia. Yeah.
Yeah, to make the giant tadpole shape.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's just like a big sperm. I love it.
Why did you have to say that?
Well, he said tadpole.
The fuck you say?
Yeah, tadpoles are normal. Tadpoles are cute. Sperm are not cute.
Please just end it. Ugh. No
There's
more.
so
I said no more.
It's almost done.
Okay. We won. I think we cooked here.
Yeah. Can you end with showing the post-war focuses? Like, where would you continue now if you would continue this?
So I would continue down this, where I basically do the epic destroy all socialist countries thing. You can build some bombs. You can make Moscow into something beautiful, I guess. You can purge the military, and most of all, you can declare war on every socialist country and declare nuclear war. This was actually teased to the Chinese community, I think. But here you go. This is the epic kill everyone now focus. Makes for a really complete game through game. It makes for a very complete game. To be honest, so
yeah,
yep,
it's very good.
That was the perfect campaign. No mistakes were made.
Yeah. You also have stuff
flawless.
like this where you can form
perfect.
autonomies with Ukraine, the Baltics, etc. You can invite Europe into a common anti-socialist faction. So, okay.
Where's the decision for?
The what?
Join the Reichspakt.
For Russia? What are you talking about?
I was shitposting.
Damn, okay.
This is a serious channel.
Okay, I think that's a good place to stop. That's actually about as far as I want it to go. Someone is asking, does that actually invite those countries into your faction or just give guarantees? It can give both. It depends on what the recipient country does. Okay, unless y'all have, if y'all have any more questions, feel free to ask them on either the Reddit, I guess, or the Ask a Dev Discord channel, because I want to go get food and I'm really tired. But thank you all for tagging along. I was really happy to do this, and yeah, thank you all for coming along, and we will see you next time with the progress report whenever that comes out. All right. Say bye, everyone.